Welcome to No BS with Bill Schmidt and Armin Saryak.
All right, let's do this thing. It's No BS. Billy and Sarian with you. Dave Gasson produces. You join it at 877-794-1973. Wins almost across the board last night in the state of Wisconsin on the hardwood. Basketball in the state was plentiful. Bucks got to take on the Texas Mavericks. Maybe they call them that, similar to how the Dallas Stars, their minor league affiliate, would be the Texas Stars.
The Fort Worth Mavericks.
Maybe something like that.
The Legends, the T-Legends.
Turned into being like the Fort Wayne Mad Ants last night at Fiserv Forum as the Bucks just roundhouse the Mavs out. Just an absolute obliteration of a team that is having maybe the worst year in the worst 7 weeks that a franchise and a fan base has maybe ever had.
Ever. You take it basically.
It's horrible, and I felt bad for just stomping on the grave last night, 137-107.
Man, I didn't really feel bad for them, I guess, when we're doing well against them, but it did seem like a little bit of like, this isn't even fair. You're talking about a team, Billy, not to get too into it. You're talking about a team that was a championship contender, legit, coming into the year, right?
They were the Western Conference Finals champions.
Right. You're talking about the Western Conference, Conference champions, and you just rolled up and absolutely obliterated that team. Now, part of it was bad management. Obviously, we can have our opinions, but I don't think any of us agreed with the idea of trading Luka. And the rest of it was bad luck. But I will say, and I've said it again, and I'll say it again, the basketball gods were not shining bright, on Nico there. They just weren't. And the reality is now there hasn't been a quicker downturn than the 2002 Bucks. And I hate to say it, but that's the reality. Bucks were a hair away from going to the NBA Finals. The next year, they didn't even make the playoffs. The next year, Ray Allen's gone. The next year, the next thing I know, rebuilding with Joe Smith and Joe Alexander. You know what I mean?
And building around Desmond Mason and people screaming about the Cowboy. Yeah, what an exhilarating time. Yeah,
he just wasn't Ray.
No, and I don't think anybody, when you saw this game on the schedule a couple of months before and decided which games you were going to pick to go to in the month of March, you didn't anticipate Najee Marshall being him and Klay Thompson being the two highest scorers for the Dallas Mavericks. You're thinking that there's going to be quite a bit different crew that you're going to go see. However, Bucks don't care. 32 from Giannis, 34 from Dame. Thank you very much. We'll get up out of here with less than 30 minutes for anybody and take one off the sheet and go right into the weekend.
You know, it was kind of cool if you're a vintage, this sounds weird saying this, if you're a vintage NBA fan to see Klay Thompson get a lot of shots up last night. I mean, they talked about how much he was cooked.
You wanted the nostalgia factor to roll through there, sure.
Like, Klay almost took 30 shots last night. So, wow, it was cool.
And they still lost by 30.
They still did. Now, here's the thing. I'm sure this wasn't one of those games where you're going to tell Carson one day, sit him down in the rocking chair and say, Carson, did I ever tell you about the time that I went to Fiserv Forum and saw Spencer Dinwiddie put up a -23 box plus minus? I don't think that's what's going to happen. No, but you know what it was? It was a take care business night for the Bucks, and they absolutely did. Man, how about KPJ, right? Come on, with the triple-double last night. You know, he was 0 for 5 from 3, but he had the triple-double, 10 points, 11 rebounds, 14 assists. That's like just the absolute minimum, right against, that's like getting on the team project, getting an A on the team project. Not really, because he obviously had to contribute to do all that, but just barely hit the threshold for that round number. That was pretty cool.
A good game last night for the Bucks. It was also nice because while 3 games in the state were happening all at once, you got some breaks in there, so you'd be able to watch the finale and the culmination of all of them, right?
Yeah.
You get the Bucks to absolutely just beat the hell out of the Dallas Mavericks. That game was over by then.
Over by halftime. Okay,
once the Gophers and Badgers hit the final, 12 or so minutes, and the Gophers on senior night tried to valiant effort, Golden Gophers.
Yeah.
Nice try up there at the barn.
Brendan Rigsby coming out of nowhere with 18.
Listen, they tried hard and they had been playing better. They gave the Badgers some sort of issues, but in the end, it was like Marquette legend Dawson Garcia couldn't get it done.
Yeah, and you can't stop Jack Janicki.
You just can't.
His chipped tooth.
You just can't stop. You just can't stop Jack Janicki. Blackwell rolling up with 25 and 11.
Oh yeah.
How about that? John Blackwell hit the boards really well.
And other things. Ben Johnson continuing his time up there in Minnesota, and they have now lost to the Badgers. I believe it's 9 consecutive times for those two teams. So all of these things happen in succession, and then a nice roof leak in Storrs, Connecticut, allows us to watch the end of your Golden Eagles. Sadly, holding a fat L and the only L on the night.
Sadly,
for the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, we almost went 3 for 3. Now, of course, when I heard about the roof leak, I had two instant thoughts. here we go again. Some sort of external force.
You mean here we go again?
Here
That
we go
has
again.
never happened again to ruin a game for Marquette.
Not at UConn. I'll admit that. Not at Campbell. It hasn't happened at Stores, but it happened at Providence when they couldn't control the condensation one night at Providence. The guys were slipping over.
2009 or something.
We had the bat flying around at the Bradley Center. We do know about that. Then we have.
We are talking 2009. Okay, yeah.
I'm forgetting.
Sure.
That was like 12 or 13.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
come on,
Sorry.
give them some credit.
Only
Billy.
a decade and a half ago. Okay,
Yeah.
I apologize.
Then we had the now all these things were Providence. The guy's brother going on the court and stopping the game one time. Now I'll say this:
more than anything, just not being able to stop UConn late.
couldn't stop UConn late. It wasn't so low
Run,
ball.
they never looked back.
It wasn't so low ball this time for once. It wasn't, but unfortunately, my old nemesis, Alex Caravan, and Liam McNeely, everybody's favorite. Of course, he only went 4 for 18, but Liam McNeely seemed to hit those threes early. It was Alex Caravan finding his game again against Marquette. Although I did think Marquette showed some grit last night and actually played pretty well. They gave a tough effort down the stretch. Obviously went down to the last possession. Caravan hit the big three. So that was a bummer. Marquette, it would have been a nice game for them to win. It would have been a boost. I don't feel they needed it, but they're probably looking now at that
When
6
do they need to get one of those wins, though? When do they need to get a win? I mean, if
St. John's.
As Brian Butch was kind of giving some business about the Green Bay Packers and talking about their division record from 2024, the conversation going into the postseason was, when are you going to get one of these wins against a team that you're going to try to see into the postseason?
Yeah,
when you're going to see a team that, if you want to make a run into the tournament, when are you going to beat some of these teams? Because the last time that Marquette, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, Armin, they beat one of those teams was in 2024 when they beat Wisconsin.
That's a fair question. And you're absolutely right. I don't think they've had, and part of it is the way the schedule's shaken out, and part of the way the Big East strength has shaken out, where there hasn't been many opportunities for great wins in the Big East, but the ones you've had, you've taken L's at. It was during Super Bowl week that Marquette lost at St. John's. Again, a late one down the stretch. It was tied with a couple minutes to go. Couldn't get it done. Got dump trucked, I would say, fair to say, on National Marquette Day against UConn. UConn and St. John's were those two games, really. Those two teams that you were trying to get dubs against. That would be, nice wins.
Yeah, they haven't been able to do it in the opportunities
that
they've had. And I mean, I know that you say some of it's because of the lack of opportunities in the Big East, but they've had the opportunities. They just have never been able to come through so far in the last 2.5 months.
Right, more junk food wins. And it was something I was concerned about in the middle of January. This team hadn't been able to do that. But that's why I say, even though they lost last night seemed more encouraging to me than it had in a while.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Against those type of
That's
teams.
some good patented positivity.
Had the lead at halftime. I thought they did a lot of good things.
Only lost by 6.
Gritty effort. Yeah, but it was a 1 point. It was a 1 point game in the last possession. So it's a little bit misleading there.
Sure.
But yes, it was a close game. But St. John's is that game. You can win that game against St. John's on Senior Day. You have a boost going into the Big East tournament, where obviously you can try and get another shot at those type of teams. It's going to be tough, obviously, in the Garden, where St. John's is expecting and hoping, and I think has their sights set on a Big East title this year.
Your confidence for Marquette sounds rather shaken. This is the least confident I've heard you talk about the Golden Eagles at all year long.
Well, I do remember, Billy, after we're sitting here in January, and they had just barely beaten DePaul. They lost to Xavier, and then they beat Seton. I was sitting here saying that they were going through a rocky rough patch, and you got on me a little bit, and you're like,
they won like 6 of their last 7 games.
They won 6 of their last 7, but I had my eye on this team. And I sensed something different in this team that I didn't like. I do think they've actually been playing better the last couple of weeks. I think it started, they took care of business to Paul Seton Hall, whatever. The Villanova game was terrible. But then they rolled back and dominated Providence, and we were in the house for it. And I said, all right, maybe Stella's
I thought that was going to be the boost they needed.
And I think it was.
Maybe they need Armin Sarian in the house this weekend.
They took care of business against Georgetown. They did. That was a great win for them to roll into there. No problem. No funny business. And I actually thought they played pretty well against UConn in an environment they don't win normally. A game UConn pretty much, I don't want to say had to have, but much more than Marquette. And they did some good things on both ends. Again, couldn't hit the 3 consistently enough to win. You hit a few more threes to your season average, you're probably winning that game. That's just the way it goes. Sure. They got a chance to knock off St. John's, who's now top 6. They're 6th, I think. You're talking about that's a meal you could get if you can beat St. John's at home. That's the boost you need
sure.
going
You
into
can win the
York.
game, and it's a great moment.
Right.
I just don't know where a lot of that confidence comes from at this exact moment for the way that they've been playing. But again, maybe if Armin Sarian's in the house, that goes down on senior day.
Maybe I'm the difference. I'm not really sure.
So I mean,
mentioned the best time that you felt all year long was when you're in the house, and
the only time you've gone all
good.
year.
Yeah.
I mean,
they had a chance. Now, also,
I mean, eyes on the game. I thought they looked a lot better last night. To be quite honest with you, they just didn't hit enough threes.
Just didn't close down the last 12 minutes at all
because they didn't have Armin Sarian out there in Stores.
Sure, if I rolled up to Stores and got the job done, then maybe that would have been. You go 3 for 22 on the road at Gamble and you lose by 1 possession. You're not doing terribly.
There's no such thing as a 6-point possession in basketball.
Okay, they fouled at the end, whatever. It was a 1-point game when Caravan hit the 3. So if you're watching the game,
30-something seconds to go.
Yeah, it was the last possession. Marquette took their 3 and missed that foul.
Okay,
again.
all right. 877-794-1973. Yeah, all right. We can debate that.
You understood what I was talking about there. So
sure. Yeah. All right. Big day also in the NFL. The defensive end market changed quite a bit here yesterday. All those dreams and hopes and wistful thoughts of Max Crosby coming into Lambeau Field as a member of the Green Bay Packers for training camp in 2025 went away when that young man got himself the largest contract that anybody outside of a quarterback has ever gotten.
The pipe dream.
$91.5 million guaranteed for Mad Max Crosby. 3-year extension. He inks with the Las Vegas Raiders yesterday. You're like, all right, sweet. That's the biggest news that we're getting throughout the day. Then DK Metcalf, Corbin K. Smith had his hand raised in air saying, I told y'all so. I was telling you so. Now, Matt Schneidman, our own, did say yesterday on X, after the DK Metcalf story becomes official that he has indeed requested a trade from the Seattle Seahawks, Schneidman said, sources told me that the Packers have not and had not had any conversations with the Seattle Seahawks regarding a trade for DK Metcalf.
Correct.
Doesn't mean they won't. That never meant they'd never enter discussions. So now apparently the discussions are all on because DK Metcalf has made it official. He wants out of Seattle. Everybody else is seemingly out of Seattle as Tyler Lockett gets released there yesterday. And Diana Rossini saying that the Seahawks want a 1st and 3rd round pick. That was similar to what your boy Corbin Smith from the Emerald Spectrum, I believe, reported last week with the Seattle Seahawks, and we had a bunch of fun on Friday discussing the possibilities of that. I don't see that being the price that ends up getting paid. However, I think what we kind of talked about, Armin, being the reality of maybe a 2nd and a 3rd and a player, I think that could very much be the case. But now seems like DK Metcalf will be available, even though for the beginning part of the week, somewhat operating as if he was not available. So good news nuggets here ahead of the league year that starts up less than a week from today.
Good news nuggets. We'll see if any of it comes to fruition in terms of a trade. Part of the reason it's so hard to trade for
or how long it will take to have it coming to fruition.
But I don't think the Seahawks aren't going to get the price they want. If that's the price they really want on
cannot
DK,
imagine.
They're not going to get the price they want because DK is going to have to be paid $30+ million a year, or that's what he wants, right? If for the team making the trade. So a team making a trade isn't going to roll up with that kind of money commitment and say, hey, we're also going to give you a 1st rounder and a 3rd rounder or whatever pipe dream that the Seattle Seahawks think they're going to get for him. At least I don't see it happening.
Well, I mean, you never know. Like, you got to at least ask for it. I mean, there could be a team like, for example, the Browns, who paid the price that they did to get Deshaun Watson.
Sure. Could happen.
I mean, the Texans are just like, we want all this for him. And they're Browns are
they actually
okay, we'll do it.
Yeah, but they actually had teams bidding on it. Like they actually had teams going ready to go and make trades like that. It wasn't necessarily the compensation that they went over the top for the Deshaun Watson contract. They just went all over on the money, and they're still paying the price. I think there's a lot of teams that are going to be saying no thanks to that price tag.
Right.
Now you bring it down,
then maybe you're interested, right?
Then there are going to be a lot more teams that are interested. Not a whole lot of teams that are going to be all that excited about paying DK Metcalf close to $30 million a year, but it's the price of playing poker that we've seen over the last number of years in the NFL. You give out these big deals, at some point they're going to come to a head, and you're going to have to change up what you think. And the market continues to go up for players not named quarterbacks. Without that position, those prices continue to go up, and T. Higgins seems like he's going to change what that secondary slot for wide receivers might be. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith were close to that spot last year, so we'll see exactly where that number ends up going. But then late into the night, Chargers with like a 9 o'clock news dump drop Joey Bosa. All of a sudden, the defensive end market, Armin, became kind of flush with a couple more opportunities for the Packers to be going and taking some risks at. Everybody thinks Josh Sweat was the number one guy on the market. Now there's guys with pelts on the wall, albeit older and more veteran players coming into the market, but some more names that I think people are going to be intrigued by in that spot.
Well, yeah. Now, Joey Bosa, some people say, well, he's been hurt too much. He's damaged goods.
But barely played over the last couple of years.
I think 18 starts in the last three seasons. He's going to be 30. The thing is, you have to realize that sometimes if you're a fan of a team that's looking to get a guy, going after a guy like that is sometimes a more realistic opportunity to try and revive a scrap heap guy or to try and, get value out of a guy that has those types of blemishes, because otherwise you're paying either a huge salary or huge draft capital for him. So a lot of times that's the opportunity that you're going to have to get. It's not going to be a great player or a completely perfect prospect that's just going to be available to you for nothing. You're going to have to pay a premium for those type of players. And in this case of Joey Bosa, he's been hurt so much. He's turning on the other side of 30. So maybe that's the reason the price will go down on him, or that's the reason you might get a chance at him if you think you can get him healthy, keep him healthy, and revive his career, right?
I like the stat that you mentioned of 18 starts over the last 3 years. The other stat that is really, really tough to look at in terms of Joey Bosa is in those 3 years that he's had 18 starts, he's also only had amassed 14 sacks. Like that's a low number for what he had been making. And I wonder what a contract looks like for him. He's a little bit older, going on 30 individual, because he's played 9 seasons in the NFL already. That's what happens when you come in at 21. But a very interesting market that continues to seemingly on all different projections. I don't know if this is just people believing the Packers are going to go big game hunting. Keep seeing Josh Sweat's name tied to the Green Bay Packers. I think that would be a massive buy high opportunity, and I don't think that's where the Packers generally are going to want to swim.
Right.
But where there's smoke, there's fire, and I do think the Packers are going to try to go big game hunting here coming up in a couple of days.
If you're looking to get some great player somewhere, you might be one of the guys you might be willing to say, okay, we're going to spend on it, or we're going to make that splurge. I mean, that's something Goody has shown he wants to do at some point, or he has done in the past, whether it be in free agency. Now, it hasn't really happened yet in the trade, but that's part of it. If that's where the great players are to acquire, if you think the free agent class is not good enough, or you want to get a jump start on some of these guys, we'll say, well, we'll be willing to extend and give up a pick and do whatever we have to do, then maybe that's the way to do it. I'm not really sure, but I would say this. I wouldn't put it past Goody to try and make his team better somehow, some way.
Going to take some swings. Going to try.
I think it's still going to be a measured, even-handed look at how things are going to go. I don't think it's going to be, oh my gosh, so-and-so is available, let's jump in with everything we've got and throw money and picks at him and do all these things. That's just not the way it is. But when the player's right, when the situation's right, they have invested under Gutekunst.
And right now, teams can, and you did see some teams yesterday, start to be able to make some signings, make some trades. Now, those trades will become official coming up on Wednesday when the new league year kicks in on March 12th. But also teams and players that have now been released, Devontae Adams, Joey Bosa, those guys can sign contracts today. Like they can sign new deals with new teams today because they were released off prior contracts. So you might. Zay predicted some news coming down here today. Maybe you start getting some news here. Now, these boys have been making news all week long down in spring training in Phoenix, Arizona. Tim Allen going to join us on the other side here of a quick timeout. They had Matt Arnold, Brewers general manager, on yesterday. We're going to play that conversation for you in its entirety in the third hour of the program here today. But Tim Allen joins us on the other side. Give us the feelings and the vibes this morning of camp. Also, after a split squad action yesterday against the Chicago White Sox, Armin's Chicago White Sox, over 51.5 wins here in 2025 he has for those boys. We'll talk to Timmy Allen, the franchise, before an update with Doug Russell and Matt LePay, voice of the Wisconsin Badgers, joins us in the 10 o'clock hour as well. We got What Does Billy Know with Tap In Golf Bar, fully loaded, off and running, cannot leave, because there's too much good stuff that we have for you at 877-794-1973 here today. Dave Gasper produces. That's Armin Sari, and I'm Billy Schmidt. It's No BS, starting up fast, hot, and heavy all day long. Tim Allen's next from the desert right here on The Game.
Hi, this is Nate from Best Electric. We are a second-generation, family-owned and operated business in West Dallas. Our motto is no job too big or too small, and we stand by our work. Whether you are looking to add recessed lighting, more outlets, or troubleshooting any electrical problems, I'm confident in Best Electric's ability to solve any electric issues. With over 50 years in business, our experienced technicians have the expertise to fix it right the first time. Connect with the best. Visit bestelect.com today.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Plug into powerful savings with CeroWire products at Menards. CeroWire is an American-owned leading manufacturer of building wire for residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Menards stocks convenient, pre-cut lengths of wire and cable products for all of your indoor and outdoor projects. Hurry in now and save big money on CeroWire at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you buying or selling? Greg Urchel here from Urchel Real Estate Group, partner of the Drew and KB Show. I've been in the real estate business for over 20 years. I'm a practicing lawyer, so I've seen almost everything there is to see when buying or selling commercial or residential real estate. I've built a trusted team around me to provide our clients with the highest level of service available in this market. We are much more than just a traditional agent. We are Urchel Real Estate Group. Buying or selling? Go to urchelrealestate.com or email me, Greg, at urchel.com. ERCHULL.com.
Attention all football fans. Old Spice Swagger Deodorant 4-pack is back at Costco. Get ready to unleash the greatest smell in the NFL. Old Spice Swagger is the ultimate 24/7 odor protection for all the football fanatics out there when used daily. But here's the catch, folks. This limited time offer won't last forever, so head to Costco and grab your 4-pack of Swagger Deodorant. Don't let those game-winning moments be overshadowed by unwanted odors. Get your Old Spice Swagger Deodorant now.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Feel the thrills of sweet victory and bitter chills of defeat with the My24 Sports Hockey Weekend. Friday at 7, your Milwaukee Admirals clash in a Central Division border battle with a rival Chicago Wolves. Saturday, My24 brings you elite high school athletics with a WIAA State Championship Series. The puck drops on the Boys and Girls State Hockey Championships triple header Saturday morning at 11. Put your weekend plans on ice with electrifying hockey excitement. My place for sports. My24.
Hey friends, Mark Zona, host of Zona's Awesome Fishing Show, the 2025 Milwaukee Sports Show. Make sure you register to win a fishing trip with me, on Lake St. Clair. The 2025 Milwaukee Sports Show. I'll see you there.
97.3 The Game.
Hanging out with you on No BS here on the game. Going to talk some baseball with Tim Allen here momentarily, but also want to let you guys know here right now. This little thing called the NFL Draft is coming to Green Bay, and it's going to be about 50 days away. And right now we're letting fans know that you can register for free entry to the 2025 NFL Draft by downloading the NFL One Pass app or going online to NFL.com/draft access. You must register to gain access to the draft and all the NFL festivities going on April 24th through the 26th in and around Lambeau Field. The NFL draft experience is going to be from noon to 10 on Thursday and Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday because the draft starts a little bit earlier on Saturday. A lot of great time and stuff for families to be able to do there on Friday evening. At the end of the third round, fans can also enjoy a spectacular drone show, followed by the NFL Draft Concert Series on Saturday evening after the final pick, featuring a live performance in the Draft Theater. Going to be an exciting time. Cannot wait for it. NFL.com/draft access to go and register, and also go download that NFL One Pass app here today, so you're ready for the NFL Draft when it gets to Green Bay coming up in April. In Phoenix, Arizona right now is where we patch in on the NicolaLaw.com talk and text line with our friend Tim Allen. So, Timmy, yesterday you guys get to chop it up with Matt Arnold as he joins you in the broadcast booth. The relaxed nature of spring training allows a lot of conversations. Also, when you know something's going to happen for almost 2 full days and they're just waiting to dot the I's and cross the T's, you get moments like where all of a sudden Jose Quintana is on the table for you guys to be able to discuss, because it kind of gets broken while Matt Arnold is hanging out with you guys there yesterday.
Yeah, it all happens spontaneously, as you know, and in spring training here, Billy, you just have to shift on the fly. You just don't know. I mean, you can set some appointments, but things get busy. I mean, just to give Brewer fans some insight, we got an opportunity, and we do throughout the Cactus League here, to see Matt Arnold walking around the complex. And you're thinking, well, he's just glad handing, and nose in phone constantly. I mean, and that's the thing. And that's why I asked him yesterday, like, how is it a candid conversation? Is it a fantasy football trade? And he said it depends, but guy's constantly on his phone. I mean, there has to be 78,000 different conversations he's having on that phone. So you shift on the fly, and, obviously, former GM Doug Melvin and a friend of ours for many years had popped in, and it was good to see him. And I mean, he's got to be pretty proud of what he's seeing here, because that was, sort of the change. He was at the inception of this whole turnaround for this organization. So it's a lot of shifting on the fly. The schedules is just scattered.
I also love, Timmy, you mentioned Doug Melvin being kind of at the beginning, in the forefront of all of this. It has been a little bit of a progression throughout the years. Everyone thinks more of the handoff with Doug was to David Stearns, but then you kind of forget that Matt Arnold was right here in the wings just a year and a half later, a part of that process building through. The deal with Quintana being able to add some more veteran pitching, obviously we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but how much more of it do you think is the lack of a full understanding as to what you're going to get with some of the young guys? More insurance for a Tobias Myers, or more insurance for the health of guys like Woody and Ashby? Do you think that the Quintana conversation and signing was more a part of?
Well, and that's the thing. Was this for depth? I mean, and that's the question. Was this for depth, or was this a reaction to some of the potential injury news? Because let's keep in mind, you mentioned Woody, but there's also Robert Gasser in the mix here. So, I mean, we're looking at...
When is that, though?
What's that?
When are we looking at Robert Gasser a part of the mix?
Well, he told us the timeline would be late July and early August. So that conversation, we all know that what the conversation is going to be. It's like picking up an acquisition at the deadline. We can hear that narrative,
for sure,
loud and clear already. But it's funny, and I guess tongue in cheek maybe or sarcastic as I can be. It's just funny over the years. There has to be an edict about these players talking about their injury because it's weird that I can have a conversation with Aaron Ashby and he said he's fine, everything's good, feel great, and then not more than 24 hours, if not less, we hear Pat Murphy saying, "Well, it's the oblique is something. There was a little something he was feeling anyway for a while." So, they knew this was coming on. DL Hall now to the 60-day. I mean, there's another situation there where it's like, well, wait a second. I thought he was going to throw on Friday, and his path back to, being able to get into at least a sim game is pretty close here. And clearly they're just saying, hey, we're going to take this slow and easy and make sure that we're not working on any timeline force feeding things. So this Quintana thing, man, it could be the best move they've made here thus far this year. Maybe bigger than the Cortez deal. Maybe. We'll find out. But this could pay off big time.
Yeah, it's possible. You never know how guys are going to turn out. There are guys you don't expect much from. You hope to get stuff from, like Dallas Keuchel. You don't get it. Or guys you hope to get something from.
He got that Nooner Day moment, though.
Well, he did get that for us. But, I think about when they picked up Julio Teheran. I mean, for a few starts, he was really good, and that was what the Brewers needed at the time. So you never know how
Jordan Zimmerman.
Zimmerman's another one. Now, let's talk about a different Zimmerman yesterday. Ouch. That wasn't as good, but there was positive news, I thought, in the split squad.
Big time.
For me and for you guys, like you, Tim, that overemphasize, in my opinion, the results of spring training games. Yesterday was a good example. You see 8-2 and you say, oh no, what happened? But the important guys, I thought, really pitched well. Freddie Peralta, 3 innings, 4 Ks, scoreless. Nick Mears had a good inning. Uribe had a good inning with 2 strikeouts.
Myers.
Yeah, so those are the positives, I think, out of yesterday.
And it is positive. You did see Jackson Churio with a double. He had a walk and a stolen base. Ortiz, same deal. He had a base hit and a stolen base. Terang with a double in that game. Tyler Black got a knock as well, but boy, he is really
now where's he falling to?
Education at first base. And what's funny, guys, is he played that entire game, and that is telling. They want a good look at Tyler Black. Yeah, and that is, and we talked to Jake Bowers the other day, and doesn't it come down to, it appears, it comes down to Jake Bowers or Tyler Black breaking camp in just a few weeks. So, I mean, you're right, Armin. There were some good things yesterday. They're going to be aggressive on the base pass. You did see that, but things got twisted a little bit, and we had an opportunity. We were sitting down the left field line yesterday at American Family Fields of Phoenix. When we got off the air, the game was an hour in, and it looked great. I mean, we would like to see Yelich to, get a couple of base hits here. He's, I believe, for the spring and just a couple of games. But well, Billy, you don't want him to come out again. I refer back to this. Remember when he was saying, "I just suck right now."
Yes.
Remember that?
Yep.
I just suck right now, and it started this landslide of slumping for what, a year plus.
Yeah, and then they slowly turn it around.
We don't want to hear that early on. Right. It'd be nice to get him to square one up, get a knock, whatever it is. He had an RBI yesterday, got the ball in play, and trying to go opposite field. But you'd like to see things like that. But tonight, another night game. They're down in Mesa to play the. I don't know what.
The Athletics.
Be the Oakland A's.
The Athletics.
Yeah, there you go.
I think they're staying in Sacramento, guys. I really do.
Sacramento Athletics.
I think they're staying there. I really do.
You're the one that was yelling at me for saying that the thing in Vegas wasn't happening.
I still
just read Vital Vegas. It's happening.
It's not. They're staying in Sacramento.
I don't know why they didn't just move to their AAA ballpark that is currently in Las Vegas.
Well, nobody wants to play outside there.
Yeah, no one wants to play.
That's what it comes down to.
Timmy, when you do think of last year's spring training, the biggest conversation was, hey, man, this guy Sal Frelick's gonna go play third base. The guy's gonna go play third base. It's gonna be a crazy move. Have we talked enough about the position move that's right in the middle of the defense here this year, with who's going to go and take over third or go from third base, go and play shortstop with Joey Ortiz? How is that? And anybody talking about it? Is it just business as usual for Ortiz?
Right on the money. You're right on the money. That is a point of emphasis for this team. Think about it, guys. What happens now? Again, it's tough to deal with hypotheticals. It's funny though, on a hypothetical, you never really hear a manager talk about hypotheticals. But we talked to Murph yesterday, and he said a said player is brought in, meaning it wasn't official at that point with Quintana.
Right.
It's
Until Hunter
but,
broke it and submitted to Arnold on the air. Yeah.
And in this case with Ortiz, let's bring in a hypothetical because it's important. What if he does not produce?
Yeah.
We all know he's going to be decent defensively. We all know he can run. But what happens then? I mean, the keys to the car at the shortstop position are literally in his pocket right now.
Mm-hmm.
And where is Plan B? Where is that? I mean, you guys can throw it out there. Who is it?
Well, the funny
Plan
thing,
Turang?
the best thing is
B Rice Turang.
Well, or like a couple of years ago when they did something very, very similar to this, he was in Tampa Bay. Right. Remember when they handed the keys to Luis Arias, and then 40 games in, Council's like, we just can't be doing this. I mean, there was that post game. I want to say, Timmy, it was either against the Reds or the Cubs, where he's like, if we're going to play baseball in the postseason, we can't be making mistakes like that. So you don't know if indeed he sees it quickly. Maybe that is a move that they go and try to make later on into the season. But or if they feel confident enough, and Murph feels confident enough in calling it out like Craig did at that point, to say, hey, guys, this stuff isn't going to fly. All right, so quit asking. We can't do it. That's going to be a fascinating one to follow. All right.
And I'm hoping to talk to him today in just an hour or two, Joey Ortiz. And
good one.
Yeah, and it's funny how you have to deliver the question and not, be confrontational and things like that. There's certain protocol, whatever. But
just go walk in there and say, hey, man, what happens if you suck this year? I think that's the perfect protocol.
Yeah, let me try that one. Let's see if that works real well.
They'll answer you, Timmy.
But you talk about pressure. It's the one spot here. There is a tremendous amount of pressure on that position right now with Joey Ortiz. It's not going to be a put up or shut up type situation. He's too young for that. And there's going to be growing pains. We have to keep that in mind. But man, defensively at third base, he was really, really good last season. And so you would assume that that's going to transfer over to shortstop a little bit.
Hope.
He's going to play some good defense. But that hitting, that's the part. It's pressure. And I know, these players probably talk to their buddies and their family and, like an Oliver Dunn. Hey, there's no doubt in my mind that he knows the landscape here. Joey Ortiz has got to know the landscape, and that's going to test him. It really is going to be a big test here in 25.
No, he's got a sweet mustache, though, and just got married, so he should be all right. I think he's got all the personal side.
I'm growing one.
But don't do that.
I'm trying.
Don't do that.
Well, I'm trying because my razor broke on the plane.
Oh.
And so
what were you doing with your razor on the plane? You're talking about pipe bombs, busting out your razor on the plane. There we go, Timmy. All right, it's lucky. We're lucky you guys got there. You save all this for TSA because we don't want you getting into more trouble, all right? We'll talk to you coming up later on here today, 6 o'clock here tonight for Brewing the Offseason. And will you be joining Mike Heller from the park at all as he is back in the saddle at noon?
I got to check with the boss, and that's Hunter Baumgart.
There we go.
He is kind of our itinerary type guy. We had a nice dinner last night, Italian place, Michelina.
There we go. Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Nice. Yes.
All right, brother. Go have a good day at work. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, guys.
That is Tim Allen, the franchise, hanging out in Phoenix, Arizona, getting everything ready for Brewer spring training coverage. We got the Badgers conversation covered on the other side. Voice of the Wisconsin Badgers, Matt LePay, joins us right after Doug Russell's Sports Flash And you're back right after this on No BS on the Game.
The boys of summer are back.
God, I love this. I just love it.
The Mike Heller Show will be live from Phoenix daily. Plus, Jeff Levering every Wednesday at 8 a.m.
Yes! That is such good news.
Spring training coverage is sponsored by Potawatomi Sportsbook, a bet above the rest, and Wisconsin Concrete Coatings, your trusted partner for premier concrete coating. Opening day will be here soon. Milwaukee's home for the best. Brewers coverage is 97.3 The Game.
Hey, Wisconsin, win an ultimate VIP experience with the Milwaukee Bucks powered by Verizon. 6 lucky winners will each receive 4 tickets to watch the Bucks play the Knicks on Friday, March 28th from the Club Lounge. Plus, you'll get early entry, an arena tour, and much more. Hurry to select Milwaukee area Verizon locations or go to www.bucks.com/Verizon to enter by March 16th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin, age 18 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.bucks.com/Verizon.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cold tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds.
KB here for CertaPro Painters. Spring is here, and there's no easier way to get your home looking good for summer than with a fresh coat of paint from CertaPro Painters. A little bit of paint goes a long way to making your home feel like the day you moved in. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. To schedule your free estimate and learn about their spring sales event going on through May 15th, visit CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.com. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Spring is finally here, and so are spring projects. So get them started at Harbor Freight's parking lot sale this weekend. Save on products like pressure washers for $69.99, 42-inch roller cabinets for under $500, plus 30% off Hercules corded power tools. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until 3/9/25 while supplies last. Limitations apply, so spring in before it's over.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, Jason, what do you think of Capital's new jingle?
I like it, but I don't love it.
What? Why not?
It's catchy, but it says call capitalcares.com. So is it telling people to call or go online when they need help with heating, plumbing, or electrical?
Yes.
Yes to what?
Yes to both. So call or go online and right now get a $49 Beyondification. That's a furnace tune-up done right for only $49.
Got it. And Mimi does rock the vocals.
Call capitalcares.com.
The game is on the line, and I've only got a shot clock's worth of time to tell you about Subway's $6.99 footlong deal. That's right. Order now in the Subway app and get any footlong on the menu for just $6.99. Fresh sliced deli meat, fresh crispy veggies. Too much good stuff. Get it now on the Subway app. Any footlong for just $6.99. Use code 699FL now. Only here for a limited time. Redeemable at participating U.S. restaurants. Subway app. Online orders only. Add-ons additional plus tax. Additional fees apply on delivery. Excludes footlong snacks. Limited time.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-496-2714. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-496-2714. That's 800-496-2714. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
All right.
When it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Coming up Thursday on the Mike Heller Show, Mikey's back in the chair after 8 days away from the program. We'll catch up with him live from Brewers spring training down in Arizona. Patrick Herb will join the show to talk Badgers men's basketball and more. The Mike Heller Show, Thursday at noon.
Milwaukee's most listened to sports station and heard on the iHeart app by fans everywhere. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game. This hour of No BS is brought to you by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screamin' is about. Drop it.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Doug Russell.
All right, let's start at Fiserv where the Bucks keep it rolling.
Tyler Smith getting set to check in. Some Ajax in there. Chris Livingston with his first minutes. AJ Green hunting down yet another three. Derryberg's got 5 of them for 15 points tonight.
Lisa Byington on FanDuel Sports Network. The Bucks hammer the Mavericks 137-107. That was an ugly game last night.
That was the best highlight Lisa could have ever done. Just the lineup that was in to close the game.
It's like, who's she calling?
Second round pick Tyler
game?
Smith getting in here. Something called Chris Livingston playing. Good things on a Wednesday night.
And Milwaukee has won 8 out of their last 9. I feel so bad for the Mavericks. Not that much. Also, Giannis.
Worse for their fans.
Yes, far worse for their fans. He became the 52nd player in NBA history to score 20,000 points. He's the 6th youngest to do it. He trails guys like, I don't know, LeBron, Kobe, KD, Wilt, and Michael.
He's having a career year this year, and it's in some ways, at least I feel like it's going unnoticed. You can put his numbers up against anybody in the league this year. Then when you factor in that he plays on both sides of the ball as well, to me, he's like Groundhog's Day. He does it every day, same thing. And I think at times we do take it for granted, and we really should.
So good. The Bucks host Orlando on Sunday. College hoops to the barn, where it was a homecoming of sorts for the Minnesota native-laden Badgers basketball team.
Inbounds pass to Tanjay. They'll let him dribble out the clock, and the Badgers make it 9 straight against Minnesota. Wisconsin had to work for it, but Greg Gard's team gets the job done as the Badgers win it by 7.
The great Matt LePay, who's coming up next on the call right here on 97.3 The Game, 1310 WIBA in Madison, and on the Badgers Sports Network. Wisconsin, a 74-67 winner at Minnesota. Coach Greg Gard.
Defensively, other than that flurry where they got a couple threes, and we let them back in the game when we're up, 11 or whatever, and have a chance to extend that. We let them get back to getting it tied, but just how we kept our composure in the timeouts. I thought we got better rebounding the ball. I didn't think Mitchell really hurt us on the glass, but we took care of the ball much better in the second half.
John Blackwell, 25 points and 11 boards. The Badgers end the regular season at noon on Saturday against Penn State here on 97.3 The Game and on the Badgers Sports Network. Meanwhile, in stores, sorry, Armin.
Terrence Reed Jr. Caravan wanted it back.
How about that kick? Goodness, I know he struggled, but stepping up with a big-time onions delivery.
Had to get
Caravan finally hit a clutch shot this year. It had to be against us. Wasn't solo ball, at least last night. 3 for 22 from 3, and you were right there. Like, he's going to make a couple.
72-66, the final. UConn defeats Marquette. FS1 on the
big
call.
Order of onions.
Golden Eagles wrap up their season Saturday at home against number 6 St. John's, and 11 a.m. tip-off at Fiserv Forum. The Milwaukee Panthers postseason run starts tonight in the Horizon League tournament.
Huge game tonight for them.
First up, Oakland at the Klotch Center.
Gotta get
Tip-off
this win.
Is at 7. Yes, well,
I mean, obviously,
by definition, yes.
I mean, obviously, but like, come on, get it done, boys. Let's go. Can beat Oakland. Should beat Oakland. Will beat Oakland.
We'll beat Oakland. All right. And finally, the Brewers made it official on Wednesday, signing veteran lefty Jose Quintana to a 1-year contract with a 1-year mutual option.
So excited to be a part of this group. A lot of younger guys, and right away I'm past the clubhouse. I feel that energy, and now I understand when these couple of days here why they win. It's a new journey for me, and excited the next chapter of my career, and I can wait to be a Brewer.
And they don't have to face him anymore.
Yeah, that might be I'm telling you, that's the best part of the signing. The best part of the signing is not having to face Jose Quintana anymore. Yeah. And he said he was fired up.
I'm fired up.
He said he was all sorts of fired up. So I
up.
like that one. Come on. The electricity in here. It's like no BS.
Yeah.
It's an absolute electric factory in there. Dougie, appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you in an hour.
Thanks, Doug.
That is Doug Russell from the news desk hanging out with us here on No BS. Armin Sarian's right there. I'm Billy Schmidt, and now stepping in from fresh off a huge win in the barn last night. No barn rolls for the broadcast team. However, rolling right out of bed and hanging out with us here early after a long travel day is Matt LePay, voice of the Wisconsin Badgers. Matt, appreciate it. We gave Butchie some heat earlier on. I was waiting for that part of the digital asset. Why did we not get a Brian Butch barn roll last night before the game against the Golden Gophers at shoot-around?
I guess he felt like he's a veteran of it. He's done it, so he wants the newbies to do it. I went to the other end of the building because you never want to walk over towards it because then you can get recruited. There were a couple of donors on the trip. They said, "Be careful, you go over there, you never know." So yes, the annual. This was a Bo Ryan thing that he started when he was the coach here. Toward the end of practice, you go half dive, half slide after a loose ball, roll off the elevated floor, and then make sure you don't separate your shoulder.
It's been that social media phenomenon in the last few years with the video, and everybody waits for the barn roll video, which is great. But yeah, you brought it up. I mean, this has been going on for a while. Bo came up with it. It's very functional. You want to make sure that you can successfully save a ball, and B, don't hurt yourself. I just think we're a rod because when Brian actually did it, there wasn't video. Right. And now that we have video, we don't get to see Brian do it. And I'll be honest with you, and I'll tell this to Brian, I don't believe he could ever do it successfully until I see it on video. See, if he challenges, appeal to his pride, then maybe he'll do it, Matt.
It's a good point. I'm trying to remember in those years. That was a long time ago that he played. If I remember him actually, he probably did. Yeah, I'm sure he'll tell us that he dove and he, the whole deal. But yeah, the video, it's like off-season workout videos. You just kind of expect it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, great. No. You work out the off-season. All right. But they have fun with it. Gardo has fun watching it because he did say last night that the veterans seem to enjoy it as much as the newbies. Maybe it was the veterans laughing at the newbies who were doing it for the first time.
That's why the talent show or the freshman show, the seniors are always the ones having the best time because they now have stocked up a lot of equity that they can simply laugh and just enjoy and not have to worry about it. Now the Badgers leave with a win. They leave with half a tooth less for Jack Janicki. This young fella is just finding more and more ways to be able to impact the game and find ways to be able to be a part of what this run is down the stretch for the Badgers, huh?
Yeah, he's been really good off the bench for these guys. Redshirt freshman, preferred walk on. He's got length, he's got the wingspan. He's a pretty athletic guy, and he's really smart. So those are pretty good boxes to check, and that's why he's on the floor. Greg mentioned that early in the season. It's like teammates know that he is where he's supposed to be on the floor. He just has a very high basketball IQ, and he and Carter Gilmore were kind of the unsung stars, and even that's probably an understatement because Janicki, anytime you chip a tooth or lose a tooth, and then you hold it up for everybody, hey, here it is.
Oh, it's a trophy. Yes, it is. It's a trophy.
Pure hockey moves, spit and chiclets. That's it, as they say. That's what that was last night. But he was all about it. But no, they both have had a lot of value that goes beyond whatever their stat for the season stats are. If it's 4 points, 3 rebounds, whatever it is, they've been really valuable components to this team, and they needed those guys last night. I mean, the thing about it is when they have stepped up and they've scored some points, they have been dearly needed points, guts of game, close games. Right. And that was the case again last night.
Yeah, Carter's had in many important moments this year, I know, off the bench or wherever he's been, that They needed those points, no doubt. And Minnesota last night is a good example, a team that everyone looks up at the record, okay, 7-12, 7-11, whatever they were, but at home, and they've been playing a lot better, and obviously they have some talented guys And as you know, as we approach, there's Penn State left and the Big Ten tournament. There's always a potential, and we've seen it in the history of the Big Ten tournament, for teams that have kind of been middling throughout the year to rise up and have a good run, and they all have talent. And Minnesota was one of those teams, right?
This is one of those rivalries where, I'm sure Badger fans feeling real good about himself right now, or herself, because Wisconsin's won 9 straight against Minnesota. 7 of those have been close. 7 of those have been either ors. Now, bottom line is Wisconsin has found a way to win those games, but there have only been 2 double-digit games in that 9-game stretch. I mean, there's 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. Last night, even the 7-point final, that was dicey down. It was a 1-possession game there down the stretch. So you're right. And Minnesota has weird home road splits. In the Big Ten, they ended up winning 2 games at home, 2-8. But the 2 were Oregon and Michigan. 2 teams Wisconsin lost to at the Kohl Center, and they're 5-4 on the road. You flip those, in which is in Wisconsin's case, it is flipped. But yeah, I mean, Dawson Garcia is good. They've got this hot kid here, Brennan Rigsby. The last couple of games for the Gophers, he's really shot it well, and he hasn't shot it well this season, but he's come alive. So. Yeah, and rivalry games do it too, right? It's just logic sometimes gets thrown out the window. And it was good. It was a fun environment. I didn't know what the crowd would be like. They had the snowstorm and high winds, all that, but there was 14,000 plus. A lot of Badger fans, yes, but it was a fun atmosphere in that old building last night.
Well, now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the pre-show digital asset of Brian Butch walking the big old M bag of popcorn and hopefully a pretzel for you walking up there. Were you guys in amongst the crowd up at the top of what looked like a rather Badger-filled upper level? That was awesome.
It is one of the stranger vantage points for a radio. It is the strangest for me for basketball. And it's been like that the last several years. You're always in the second level, but you used to be mid-court, which that's pretty good. Well, they kept the home radio there, but premium seats and all that. So we're tucked back, second level in a corner, not screened by anybody. But it's a little unusual, but we have good working space, plenty of room for Butchie. Do you see the size of that popcorn bag?
That popcorn bag was legit.
I mean, it was just a monster bag.
And I know that didn't make it through
and it depth to
your illustrious pregame show. Like, there's no way he had a kernel left by the end of that pregame show.
It was amazing that he only plowed through half of it. And then at the end of the game, I'm looking and saying, dude, you still got half of it left. So sure. Ian, well, he did have the salt pretzel. None for me, thanks. Thanks, Brian. I got my own.
That was for you. Son of a gun.
But it's the depth of the bag. That's what it is. I mean, it wasn't a necessarily super tall bag, but it was a wide bag. It was like one of those.
It's a wide load, as they would say. Yeah.
And you're right. Like, whenever I see a video, and Butch is a tall guy anyway, so this happens. But whenever I see a video and the back of Butch's head is piping and stanchions and like banisters, I'm like, man, these guys are way up there. Like, I've never been in Williams Arena, so I didn't know how that kind of barn fit and everything like that. But when you start seeing, HVAC piping, you guys know.
Oh, it's old, man. That is an old building. It used to, when they were good, and it's been a long time. I get it, but that place used to rock. Like back in the '90s, Clem Haskins teams. Now they had to vacate some of those seasons because of a few things against the rules they were doing. But whatever, they had great players, and that place would just. I mean, it was like the UW Fieldhouse. Your ears would ring when you left there. It's not. I mean. They go back and forth there. The sentimental feeling is they should keep playing there. There are a lot of other folks say, man, you might want to join the new century here, modernize.
Yeah.
Last night was a good throwback kind of atmosphere in that place.
So, Matt, as we get closer into conference tournament time, there's a lot of people online yesterday very upset about the Big Ten logo for the Big Ten tournament.
They didn't like that.
A lot of people upset that the wheel with the colors.
That's what we're worried about now. Okay.
Listen, they're finding reasons to be worried. They're finding reasons to be upset. What's your feeling and vibe as the run goes? People will always worry about the next tournament, but this one always very important and one that they've had some success in the last couple of years. Especially
it's weird. Butchie and I were talking about that again yesterday because some of the classic Wisconsin games over the last 20 plus years have been in the Big Ten tournament. And then you wonder, is like, okay, what does that mean? Like when you're there in the moment, you're trying to win it. Now, you would prefer to play the fewest number of games. If they get a double bye, 3 games would be the max. If they don't, which is still in play, they could still be a 5 seed. Then it's 4 games in 4 days. That's a harder deal. It's one of those, I think, Billy, that when you're there to win it. If you lose it, you feel badly. And then like, well, let's get another day of rest. Put it to you this way. When Wisconsin beat Purdue in overtime last year in the semifinals, I didn't see many Boilermaker players shedding a tear. Talking to people when these guys were down there a few weeks ago, they were saying, yeah, they knew it wasn't the worst thing. They got themselves rested. And by the time they got to the national championship game, I'm sure people down there were not bemoaning the fact that they lost to Wisconsin in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament. It's a strange thing. We all know why it exists. If you win it, it's great. But if you don't, okay, you got bigger fish to fry here.
Right. Well, they just had the memory. It was the year before, and I was at that game when they had won a close, tough tournament against Penn State, won the final, Big Ten tournament champions, and Fairleigh Dickinson happened right after that. So that's the thing about it. What would you rather have? And I think everybody knows that. And for one, I have to say, I'm going to miss the pinwheel. The pinwheel logo.
You do miss the pinwheel?
Well, I understand why, maybe a title sponsor doesn't want their sponsor slapped on a pinwheel, but listen, I did like the pinwheel. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not shedding tears over it though.
I'm more just excited for what this logo looks like in 2028. And Matt, we've already put in for the show trip for the Big Ten tournament once it gets to Las Vegas, March 8th through 12th in Las Vegas in 2028.
It's got to be a blackjack table or a slot machine part of the logo, don't you think they might be a little sensitive to that? Maybe by then it won't matter.
Listen, by then they might be playing games in casinos. let's be honest. We're not that far away from it, Matt. Where that might be the case coming up in 28.
It'll just be like the imagery of the Las Vegas sign with the Big Ten tournament.
The Big Ten tournament. They got the little racing stripes in there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The Big Ten tournament brought to you by MGM.
There you go. Yeah,
probably should be.
Penn State final opponent before the tournament. 5-14 conference record, but they do score a lot. Matt, 78 points a game. They shoot at 47%, so they have some ability there.
It'll be interesting to see because this will be their final game. They will not qualify for the Big Ten tournament, so this is it, as 3 teams won't be able to participate in next week's event. So do they just come in and phone it in, mail it in, or do they just play fast and loose, let it fly? Ace Baldwin's a really good player. He can score in a variety of ways. He'll get 2 or 3 steals a game. They are skilled offensively, and they have a knack of losing close games. That's one of the things that's really hurt them. But I'll be really curious to see how Penn State comes out. And for Wisconsin, you have to take care of your business. You'll need some help here. But you're still in position to get a double bye. So and it's senior day and all of that. So there's a lot out there for Wisconsin to get. But I'll be interested to see how Penn State plays. My guess is, and I think if you're Wisconsin, you have to assume that they're just going to let it rip. You have to play fast anyway. So
why
just
not?
Go ahead, let it fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more fun that you can have if you're a 5-14 ball club, you might as well. You got one last chance, and you go and have a chance to go spoil somebody's party.
And if you're a chucker, it's your chance to chuck, right?
You can go full Washington Wizards on this one. Yeah. You can have yourself a banner night, that's for sure. Pageantry for senior day, and senior days are always different. Basketball and football. How is it different for you, Matt? And what have you noticed different over the last couple of years? Because you don't see as many guys actually get there through senior day through the entirety of the program.
Minnesota had its senior night last night. They had 10 seniors. Now, most of them came from other places, and then ended up in Gopherland. But there are 6 for Wisconsin. They tend to do it pregame. There's a gathering for those guys tomorrow after practice as well. But they tend to do pregame intros, and it's always that it is that you see it with football too. Some guys are gonna have a lot of emotions. They see their parents out there, and then you have to gather yourself and get ready for a game. But it's different. Carter Gilmore's been a Badger all along. Stephen Crowell's been a Badger all along. You got guys like Max Klesman and Kamari McGee. They transferred in, but they're Wisconsin natives. They're living out their dream. Marcus Silver from Estonia. They recruited him during COVID. The recruiting process is what we're doing right now, virtually.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it was nuts. And then John Tonje is a 1-year guy, but he's made it work. So it's it isn't what it used to be, but you feel good for all of them, but especially, the guys who've been here, a few years or wire to wire, like Ilver and Gilmore and Crowell. I'm sure those guys, I'm speaking for all of them, that there will be some emotion there, but especially those guys who have been part of Big Ten championship teams and have had, the ups and downs of a college career. But I would think they'll have a little extra juice in them on Saturday.
No doubt. Some of those guys, it's hard to imagine anyone that's seen more than some of the guys that you mentioned.
Armin, I was just going to say, they saw a lot of stuff in that uniform, right? I mean, the amount of wins and losses in tough year, right? Like to be able to go through all of that and be a part of it. Matt, that's one of the ways that you're able to set it in. You mentioned John Tonje come in for your last year. If it's not for some of those guys being carryovers and holdovers, you hear the word culture, and that's what people always like. It's one of the best buzzwords to have in sports, but you really do need some of that. And if you don't have any holdovers, I struggle to wonder how that culture does get set.
And that's going to be, I think, the ongoing challenge for any number of programs across the country. Now, if you have all the resources in the world, culture is great, cash is king. You can keep your roster retained as much as you want to. Wisconsin's trying to build to that, but yeah, that's the thing. As you look to next year and the year after, who are those guys going to be who know how things work, and they know what to do, they know how to do it, they know the expectations for the coaches, and it's an interesting dynamic to watch here moving forward. I think they've got guys, obviously a guy like Janicki could help lead the way there, among others. John Blackwell, Nolan Winter, those guys, assuming they all continue their careers here, which hope and I believe that'll happen. But that's the thing, because a lot of these teams with a lot of talent, the turnover is so severe. Sometimes it's late in coming together, and sometimes it never does. I mean, Washington Huskies are 4-15 in the Big Ten. They got a $2 million player on the roster. I mean, they spent some money. Yep. They're 4-15. It never came together for those guys.
You don't know how it's going to go year to year anymore. And the other thing is, you just can't count on guys like you used to, saying for sure, well, you got him at this position for this long. You're constantly recruiting now as a coach, and that's just the way it is. But good news for Badger fans. I'm sure you've been following this closely, Matt LePay. They've entered that velvet rope, that exclusive club. They're now top 30 in KenPom offensive and defensive rating.
Oh, my goodness.
Every national champion in the last, I don't know, whatever it was, I think ever, or whatever it was, had to be in the top 30 in both of those to be, national champions. So now they're 29th in defensive rating. They've crossed into the club now. They're behind the velvet rope.
They have done it. Is it normally like low 20s? Is that kind of the cutoff, but definitely top 30, right?
What I remember is you had to be top 30 in both offensive and defensive rating.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what
you should have this off the top of your head.
I should. That's what I remember.
I still don't know how you're still paying for your KenPom for the amount of free advertising.
Like Michigan State's 31 in offensive rating. They might as well not even play. What's the point?
Yeah, just sit out. That was a fluke.
Walking in the guys. I think we've done a good job this year, but KenPom's computer rankings think we're not good enough, so I don't believe that we're going to be able to just field the team here and play. What I mean?
Hey, I'm guilty. I look at that all the time too, Armin. So it's pretty accurate stuff. You get a gauge of, and in Wisconsin's case, I mean, they've come a long way in getting into the top 30 defensively.
Right.
They were nowhere. They were nowhere close to that earlier in the season. So yeah, it is. It's a nice little stat to have for these guys. So hopefully, now you could get into the Final Four without that. I mean, NC State was,
right.
But
all you need is to run into Marquette in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, that's right.
Ouch! Come on now.
No, teams have
listen, I'm just not as positive on Ken because he's been a little bit off, Matt, on a couple of these projections here. He gives those score projections.
Oh, they're just projections.
For some reason, they're not lining up when we throw it into the parlay of the day. So he's got to figure this stuff out.
Oh,
cost a little bit of money. Okay, I understand.
They're not guarantees, Billy. They're just projections. But you're right, though. Teams have made the national final, but to win the national championship to this point, you've had to be. Now, eventually, that'll get broken by somebody. You know how that goes. Somebody will be the first team to do it. Yeah. And Billy, hopefully you have the money line on that one. So when it does happen.
Probably won't. Also, Matt, Thursday night, good couple of days earlier to kick off for Badger football, a Thursday night opener. I know you got a lot of weight here. Post-game show host was just wondering if we could edge out that 8:30 kick like we had last year.
Yeah. I'd be all about edging that out. Let's kick that bad boy off at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. That's plenty. I don't know that. Yeah, I've known this was in the works. They got a lot of things going on campus. Plus, it's going into Labor Day weekend. So as I told Drew and KB yesterday, you can't spell media without an M and an E.
That's right.
So I'm out. I'm heading to the cabin. What time's this game over? Hey, let's send it over to Billy Schmidt postgame show. Bye. I'll listen to it on the drive up. So,
well, that's
the only negative to that, and I know like every year it's an issue with people because there are high school games on Thursday, there are high school games on Friday. No, that happens. I get it. It's an irritant. But the bottom line is schools are going to continue to do this because TV likes it, standalone. So, and for these guys, Billy, you're in training camp. I mean, how long do you need training camp? You want to play a game. If you can play a game 2 days earlier,
let's get after
probably all in. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get after it. And I can't wait to be checking out spring football camp coming up here very, very soon for those boys. And congratulations to Joe Thomas getting inducted and getting honored as well. College Football Hall of Fame. Would love that. We love that for Joe Thomas and being able to be honored with the UW as well for that one coming up this year.
Pro day tomorrow. Do you still like just for grins? Do you do any of the drills, Billy? Just
not a chance.
Yeah, just for fun.
Not a chance. No, my health insurance is not nearly good enough, Matt. If we really get ramped up into that next premium, then I'll run a 40 and trust my hamstrings. But we are. I think I retired from those games a couple 2-3 beers ago.
It's the Carson, the shuttle run. Chasing Carson is the shuttle run. You know,
I get my 3-cone drill in pretty early at the house. Matt, we always appreciate it, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, boys. Take care. Have a good one.
That is Matt LePay, voice of the Wisconsin Badgers, hanging out with us here on No BS on the game. Ooh, dang. This one just dropped, and I wish I would have had it right in front of here. Illinois welcoming
Billy?
James White, the assistant running back coach.
Oh, there you go. How
the
about
Fighting
that?
Illini. Huh.
Brett Bielema came 2 minutes too late.
2 minutes too late, and that individual just continues. Brett Bielema continues to pillage from his just big old crop of Badgers that he coached right here and bring them down to Champaign-Urbana. Wow. Okay. There we go. 3-time Super Bowl champion James White into coaching. Wish it was with the Wisconsin Badgers. We always love being able to hang out with Matt LePay. And we love playing What Does Billy Know with Tap In Golf Bar in Waukesha and in Sussex. 2 elite locations. You're going to have one opportunity to get yourself a free hour of simulator time. 877-794-1973. Get your answers in. We'll play the game right after this on the game.
Football fans, get ready for an unforgettable NFL draft experience in the Discover Green Bay 2025 Draft Sweepstakes.
The Green Bay Packers and hosts for the 2025 NFL Draft, Jordan Morgan.
One lucky winner and 3 guests will receive an exclusive VIP package. Find out more about the 2025 Draft in Green Bay and enter to win at greenbay.com/sweeps.
Drew and KB are inviting smart and good-looking listeners to join us at 3 o'clock. We'll catch up with our buddy Shannon Quinn from the country station down the hall.
And Hunter Baumgart, the 4th, HB4 returns from Arizona.
Join us at 3, Drew and KB.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different. But one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy. And it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Alzheimer's disease is the 6th leading cause of death in the country, and it's affecting almost 7 million Americans, including 110,000 people here in Wisconsin. UW-Madison is working hard to improve the lives of those affected, offering resources to educate and the latest in research and technology. The UW initiative to end Alzheimer's has so many ways you can benefit, learn, get involved, and make a difference. Visit goalsforacure.org. That's goalsforacure.org.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint.
Let's trade lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef. This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Listeners are always asking me about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see how you answer these questions. First, is your quality of life impacted by the chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, or other joints? You have trouble sleeping, walking, day in and day out movement? Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things that you love because joint pain is consistently holding you back? Like walking, golfing, jogging. If you answered yes to any of these, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now and ask for a free consultation. Learn about these latest advancements in regenerative medicine and how they can get you lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Saturday appointments now available. It's 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, fellow Gen Xers, it's Elizabeth Banks. Big news! The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the charge. After all, we gave the world the internet. We're trailblazers. Let's lead the way again because we are at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Head to VaxAssist.com and schedule today. That's VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Have you found your new favorite feature on the iHeartRadio app yet?
Presets and lyrics. This is so good.
I've been telling all my friends. Wait, you guys aren't using this yet?
You're missing out.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. The Milwaukee Admirals play Game 6 of a 7-game homestand Friday night when they host the Chicago Wolves at Panther Arena. The right wing, Wall above the right circle, slapped the pass, gave it to Marino, and he scored! What a play by Kevin Wall! Pre-game coverage at 6:30, face-off at 7 on Fox Sports 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Live from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Rima Remodel, this is No BS with Billy and Saria.
I've waited for this. I'm so excited.
On the Game.
All right, what does Billy know with our friends from Tap In Golf Bar? 2 locations, Waukesha and in Sussex. Weather is going to start getting better. However, this is now when we start playing that fun game called Puddle or Huge Pothole.
Yeah.
So you don't know exactly if you want to be out on the course swinging some stick. You want to go into Tap In Golf Bar with 2 locations in Waukesha and in Sussex. Go and play and stay dry.
Plus, you kids now got all that nice golf gear I see with your Travis Matthew and your Jordan golf shoes and all your nice, awesome-looking stuff.
You're staying in your New Balance golf stuff?
Yeah, my point is you don't want that stuff muddy and nasty. You don't want to ruin your nice stuff. You're going to play with your grass-cutting shoes out there. No, you don't want to do that. You go to Tap In and you keep everything nice, clean, neat.
Nice, clean, comfortable,
dry.
and there's a bar right there.
There's a bar.
Makes
you
it
drink.
so much better.
And then you wait till the sun dries everything out. Now's the time you go to tap. I mean, you always go to tap in, but
Correct, but you're right. This is actually maybe the time where you start really getting the itch because now they're playing like professional golf. The Arnold Palmer Invitational, presented by MasterCard, being played right now.
Thank you.
Thanks
for throwing that in.
Throw it in there. It's presented by MasterCard.
Hashtag ad. Are you getting
Not yet, but hey, shout out.
Yeah, if you're out there, MasterCard.
You are in a position where I think people are going to start getting the itch. People are going to start getting the itch to go play some golf. Maybe you went on a trip. Maybe you just came back from a trip, or you're getting ready for one of those golf trips with the boys. So you got to have that swing fresh. Tap-in Golf Bar is there for you.
Especially if you've been watching the Golf League, TGL.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you're totally watching that, which everyone was doing.
Yeah, everyone's totally doing it.
Everyone is totally watching the Golf League.
Oh, actually, I should say I did watch it when it was on in the studio TV one day.
Yes, because we misplaced the remote.
It was on. We couldn't find the remote.
I liked the day when the
all right, I'm all set here.
Weren't working before. Okay, so that was it. We're stalling here to write the last question here for what does Billy know? As people have written their guesses in 877-794-1973. I'm excited to figure out what the topic is.
Yeah.
As the topic du jour needed a couple extra questions where I was told, don't tell Billy what the question is.
Well, it wouldn't be any
no
fun.
kidding.
Keep it secret.
Keep it a secret.
I didn't want to hear.
It's been a secret until this exact
I'm texting
moment.
Dave only. It's nothing shady though.
Yeah. Nothing shady though.
I did say
my
that.
favorite thing.
Well, because I'm sorry if we're all sitting in the office.
Shadiness. I think you and Dave Gasper.
But we're sitting in the office and I say, Dave, I'm sending you a text, and you're sitting right there. Would sound weird. I didn't want you to feel a certain type of way.
Listen, I hope that you guys are going to go hang out and go watch the Badgers against the Golden Eagles against St. John's this weekend.
Yeah,
I hope
so
that's
too.
the reason why you guys were texting each other.
I want to go. Okay, I have a chili cook-off. I can't go there. You got it out of me.
Listen. Wait. We got to play the game. We're so late for a break. You sucked at the chili cook-off last year.
I know. I'm trying to.
You're
do
really
better.
missing the biggest game of the year for
Not
Marquette.
the biggest game of the year. This is not the game.
Regular season wise.
Nah, National Marquette Day was. Wisconsin was actually. Yeah. All right.
Okay. 1-1 in the biggest games of the year. I'm
fine.
Here we
okay.
go. Let's go.
Yes, I wish we won all of our games. We didn't.
Are you actually going to cook the chili this year?
I cooked it last year too. I just got cooked in the tournament or in the contest. I got cooked.
The glass.
We're still
sorry.
good.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Just vote against it because it's my chili. What does Billy know?
It was cold. Sorry,
what does Billy know? It does have to be hot this year. What does Billy know?
Probably
about
will help for chili.
Arizona and spring training since our boys have been down there all week. All right. What does Billy know about Arizona and spring training? Don't talk about my chili like that. All right. Question 1. This is about Arizona and spring training. Question 1. To better fit in with the region's natural southwestern colors, this fast food chain uses turquoise in place of its traditional gold on its famous sign.
This almost sounds like a McDonald's if it's
In
gold
Arizona.
in the regular sign. Okay.
McDonald's is correct.
Wow.
There is a turquoise McDonald's sign in Arizona. I think it's in Sedona or something like that. I'm not really sure. I haven't been there.
Okay, so it's one sign. Got it. I was worried because I definitely had stopped at Arizona McDonald's in spring training. I don't think I was that hungover to remember that it was
to go to the right
blue
one.
sign. It said that. All right, continue. Sorry.
Couldn't
go
see
ahead.
your colors right at that point in time. Maybe.
Yeah. 7 a.m. is an early wake up call for some
Question
of those
2.
trips.
Phoenix, Mesa, Scottsdale, and Chandler are all in this county, which is the most populous county in Arizona. You might know it because they always talk about it for election coverage. Always.
Yes, Billy always watching that election.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah, totally.
Very,
me watching
very
all of that
watching
election coverage.
I'm sure he did on election night.
I was gonna say Phoenix County.
It's not a bad guess. Is that your guess?
Yeah,
Maricopa County.
Totally would have remembered that one. Yes. Okay.
All right.
Is that different from Mar-a-Lago County?
Yeah, that's
spot?
Florida.
It's a different state.
It's different state, different everything.
I hear that in the election stuff in the news channel. Sorry.
Well, that's the golf club. You know, this Arizona newspaper is the state's largest, and it's published in
Arizona
Phoenix.
State Republic.
Arizona Republic is correct. I'll give it to you. Now, I want to give you credit. You didn't even need the multiple choice questions I was going to give you.
You know why? Because our hotel last year was right across the street from the building.
Oh, it's a lot worse than
and it was
Caesars.
the tallest building in the downtown proper area, so it was nice. So I was able to actually remember where to walk back to.
And you got a little shade too.
It was helpful. Yes,
wasn't the casino though, like it was New Orleans. 2 out of 3. Question 4.
Saved a lot of money on that trip.
Arizona is one of 2 states that doesn't observe daylight savings time, which is coming up, by the way. Which is the other state? Does not observe daylight savings.
I think it's gonna be something weird,
right?
Like Delaware.
It's not Delaware, but it is Hawaii, which I think would constitute as a weird state. Not that people don't want to go, but it's.
Do they really even have to know what time it is in Hawaii?
That's my point.
They're on Hawaiian time.
Yeah,
it's easy.
They're on whatever time we want it to.
Plus, you got all the islands and everything. 2 out of 4. Question 5. In their famous song "Take It Easy," the Eagles sang about standing on a corner in this Arizona town.
Winslow, Arizona.
What a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford slowing down to take a look at me.
Also, Doug Russell would like to know that it is in Sedona, and the service is in unbelievably slow McDonald's with the blue sign.
There you have it. That's an upset. I thought it was going to be, he was going to say it's great service. I had a great coffee there or something.
Unbelievably so. Slow. And the reason why I knew that one instantly is because Mike Heller was very, very excited to tell us about his story a couple of years ago in their travels to Winslow, Arizona.
I know. I do remember that.
I'm excited to ask I'm excited to see if they stop there as well on the way down to Arizona, as we talk to Mike Heller coming up in about an hour and 15 minutes as he rejoins the Mike Heller Show after a week and a half absence.
Indeed. 3 out of 5. All right. Compadre Stadium was the spring training home of the Milwaukee Brewers from 86 to 97. It was located in this Arizona city.
Hold on. What was the name of it?
Compadre Stadium. That's right.
I'm going to say it was in Flagstaff.
Oh, Chandler, Arizona. Good guess, though.
Dang.
Flagstaff.
Apparently they're trying to bring another team to Chandler, Arizona.
I could see it. It's a boon for these towns, these local business. All right. 3 out of 6. Well known for his, quote, pocket snacks during spring training. This is the breakfast food that manager Pat Murphy was known to pull out of his jacket pocket and eat during workouts last year at spring training, according to Christian Yelich and other players.
Was this his bagel?
No, man. I would have accepted pancakes or waffle.
Oh, okay.
They also saw him pull out an egg roll. So I would have accepted that, but sorry.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
He had a pocket pancake, apparently. That was in a story I read. 3 out of 7. Murph is well known for his nicknames during spring training for players. Some make sense, some don't. This is his nickname for Reese Hoskins. I wouldn't have known either. So
I was almost going to make a really inappropriate joke. I'm so
Please
glad
don't.
that
We're
I'm
almost
so
through this.
glad that I am maturing here after the age of 30. I'm going to go let's go with Pieces, like Reese's Pieces.
Oh, great guess. It's Pee-wee. Pee-wee Reese.
That would have been a
After
good
the
one.
great Brooklyn Dodger. To be honest with you, I think Pieces is better. I think Pieces is much funnier.
Well, thank you for that. That was very nice.
I like my
Look at Armin
nickname.
trying to gas up the
We got to
boys.
get Timmy and Hunter to let Murph know about that.
I don't think Murph's going to be listening to those boys.
It will.
Yeah.
How many total fields are at the Maryville complex, including full and infield?
8.
Oh, 7. Oh, you're so close. It was 7. Damn. 5 full to infield. All right, final question. This was the Phoenix area Italian restaurant that Tim Allen just told us they had dinner last night.
Oh, man.
I needed one more, and I thought this was going to be good. I'm like, let's see if he's been listening.
I don't even have a clue. Vitucci's.
It's Michelina's.
I miss Vitucci's downtown.
Vitucci's was
down
awesome.
the north side, dude. That place was
Man,
awesome.
well, that was one of the best bars.
Dollar bomb nights on Thursdays.
Vitucci's
There's
was awesome,
There was a
man.
Vitucci's Pizza in New Berlin.
Oh,
Remember
really?
that?
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
and not as good as Vitucci's down on North.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
not even close.
No, it was a cool like cocktail lounge on the
I'll
east
tell you what,
side.
man, that pizza was good.
I'll have to try
have
it. Yeah, maybe we'll try it.
But we want to tell stories about the great Vitucci's bar on the east side.
Dollar bomb nights, dude.
3 out of 10, Billy. Not bad. Actually, not.
That's
It's
actually very bad.
It's bad.
It's actually
But
very
who cares?
bad.
Who
But thank you
cares?
so much.
They were ridiculous questions, so I'll admit most of them were.
I thought it was fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was still fun.
I thought it was
we
fun.
had a great
That's
time.
for sure. Now I'm excited to see how many different threes there are, because on the text line there was a couple of very, very nice people that were trying to motivate me, and then right out of the gates, there are 4 people that guessed 3. So we'll have a winner on the other side for that hour of simulator time at Tap In Golf Bar. 2 elite locations again, Waukesha and in Sussex. Also, go book your simulator time. TapInGolfBar.com today. It is no BS. That's Armin Sari, and I'm Billy Schmidt. We'll hand it off, as I mentioned. Mike Heller makes his illustrious and long-awaited return to the Mike Heller Show coming up today afternoon. We have a parlay of the day, as well as some more names that are starting to percolate around the free agent market as the Packers how they are going to spend all of this cash, all this cap that they finally have room for after the Aaron Rodgers contract gets wiped off the board. A couple more interesting names coming up right after this. Hey guys, Billy Schmidt here to tell you about Milwaukee Weight Loss and how their doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program can help you lose weight fast, naturally, safely, and easily without the use of drugs or injections with the risk of serious side effects, and no prepackaged meal program, no bars and shakes, and no exercise even required. They know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day. And if they know the secret, why not listen? Plus, their program helps you reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good, and their coaches are there for ongoing support. And the best part, their program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs that you've heard of. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in the first month or two. That's what I did over a year ago, and it's one of the best decisions I ever made. So go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com today and schedule your free consultation, or give them a call at 262-433-4008. That's 262-433-4008, or visit them online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. And when you sign up, make sure you tell them they heard about it on the game and that Billy Schmidt sent you. Results may vary.
The game is on the line, and I've only got a shot clock's worth of time to tell you about Subway's $6.99 footlong deal. That's right. Order now in the Subway app and get any footlong on the menu for just $6.99. Fresh sliced deli meat, fresh crispy veggies. Too much good stuff. Get it now on the Subway app. Any footlong for just $6.99. Use code 699FL now. Only here for a limited time. Redeemable at participating U.S. restaurants. Subway app. Online orders only. Add-ons additional plus tax. Additional fees apply on delivery. Excludes footlong snacks. Limited time.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Drew Olson here for Pep's Draft House Pizza, the official pizza of the Drew and KB Show. Whether you have people coming over for the game or simply want to enjoy a hearty, premium quality pizza at home, make your house a draft house. Try one paired with your favorite microbrew today.
This week on Faith in the Zone, our special guest is Moses Beers. He's a former soccer player at Cairn University in Pennsylvania. Sunday at 8 a.m. only on Fox Sports 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Sunny and breezy for our Thursday with a high near 40, northwest wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy and 29 tonight, should be up around 38 for tomorrow with some light snow south of 94. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Hupy and Abraham, the winner it's free guarantee, Hupy.com.
If you want all the money you deserve, remember the name Hupy and Abraham.
I would give them a lot of stars.
More than a 5-star rating if it was possible.
If I could, I would give them 6.
Call Hupy and Abraham, 800-800-5678, or go to Hupy.com right now.
Preset. Save.
We're already a preset in your car, I assume.
Preset number 1. Never a doubt.
And we've brought it to the iHeartRadio app.
Simply click the button labeled Preset.
Our station gets anchored to the top of your app.
97.3 The Game. Added.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
877-794-1973 is the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. We're going to have a winner off of there for our Tap-In Golf Bar gift card in just 1 second. Sorry, free hour of simulator time, which turns into a pretty dang good gift on a card for you to be able to go and take advantage of at 2 locations in Waukesha and Sussex, TapInGolfBar.com. But Got to let you know that right now this hour of the program is brought to you by Happy Place Hemp and happyplacehemp.com. Everybody can relax with Happy Place Hemp, the best hemp-related products that you are ever going to not only just dream of, but then be able to ingest and then reap the benefits of Happy Place Hemp. Start feeling better right away, whether it's their CBN CBD gummies, which can turn into more daily use, Delta 8, Delta 9 gummies, recreational, by the way. Also, their Drift Seltzer. If you're trying to have a heck of a weekend coming up this weekend, just drift into some happiness with Happy Place Hemp's Drift Seltzer. No calories, no alcohol, no problem. THC, CBD infused seltzer, fantastic. Also available at happyplacehemp.com. And also, you're going to get 25% off that when you use promo code Billy at happyplacehemp.com. All right. We had the laundry list of guesses. We had a couple of people that were a little bit more, let's be honest, confident in me. Our friend Justin in North Carolina fired in a 10. We had another individual who said, Billy, my sweet Billy boy, I knew this day would come. You will get 8 right. Well, listen.
Wow. I thought I
cut that in half and add another one off. 3 out of 10, the selection and the amount that we were able to get right, as Joe in Hartford appropriately said. At least Marquette's done better in their last 10 than I just did in those last 10
That's
questions
very true.
about Phoenix and spring training.
They have. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Let's pick out a winner here today for the hour of simulator time. Who do we have there, Armin?
Nick and Grafton. Billy's getting 3 today. I feel some tough ones coming after a run of easy questions. Nick, man, you hit that right at the money. That's like trying to roll that hard way on craps or whatever they call it. I don't play the game, but I know you can try and guess.
A hard way, yeah.
You can guess exactly. You say, this is exactly what it's going to be.
You're on it.
And you hit it, Nick.
Hard ways are fun. That's a good time there at the craps.
I always hear that I should start playing that game because people get so excited and they're hugging each other and high-fiving. And that's the environment I want to be in, team atmosphere.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Everyone cheering for each other, high fives going, unless you're the one guy sitting there that's playing the don't pass line.
No, you can't
Usually
do that.
just sits over in the corner.
It's bad karma.
It down and waits. Yeah.
I'm just
also
the guy that watches.
Love on our YouTube comments where you can always be able to interact with the show. MPB MKE said, "Ladies' Night at Vitucci's, great place."
Yeah.
To be able to chase away those creepy middle-aged dudes away from your friends. Now, there were always good interactions that were going to happen at Vitucci's.
It was a fun time. That was a fun time.
To be honest, also felt like it was always Ladies' Night at Vitucci's.
Oh, sure. I mean, you go there. There was a bunch of places on North. You go to Cairns. There was a good time back then.
Good times. Man, we got old. Hour 3 of No BS comes up right after this parlay of the day. Hopefully a winning parlay of the day. Yesterday was like the furthest thing from a winning parlay of the day, but you need a couple of those to be able to build up some confidence to then go in and just roundhouse the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That comes up on the other side after a Doug Russell update. And it's No BS. Hour 3, best one of the day, comes up right after this. Hey guys, if you're watching basketball right now and not doing it while playing along on the Underdog Fantasy app, I have to ask you right now, what on earth are you doing? Basketball season, when your favorite stars are scoring buckets, we're alley-ooping you an opportunity to win money while watching along. Underdog gives you the opportunity to win up to 1,000 times your money in a single night. All you do is play their pick'em game, pick higher or lower than your favorite players, whether it's points, assists, rebounds, threes made, double-doubles, and they got your favorite leagues, teams, most importantly, stars to choose from because you want to pick the players that you want to be watching. So create your entries of all basketball picks or mix and match across different sports, and you can play for as little as $1 and if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So you can turn $1 into 1,000 or you can really go big on the Underdog Fantasy app, and it's a whole lot of fun. That's why their app has over 100,000 5-star reviews and millions of players. This weekend on Underdog, I'll be looking at that Bucks Magic game coming up. A couple of basketball games got my eye on for the next couple of days. So download the Underdog app, sign up using promo code Billy, and deposit now to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up using promo code Billy. Claim your special offer today. Get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Coming up Thursday on the Mike Heller Show, Mikey's back in the chair after 8 days away from the program. We'll catch up with him live from Brewers spring training down in Arizona. Patrick Herb will join the show to talk Badgers men's basketball and more. The Mike Heller Show, Thursday at noon.
Listeners are always asking me about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see how you answer these questions. First, is your quality of life impacted by the chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, or other joints? You have trouble sleeping, walking, day in and day out movement? Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things that you love because joint pain is consistently holding you back? Like walking, golfing, jogging. If you answered yes to any of these, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now and ask for a free consultation. Learn about these latest advancements in regenerative medicine and how they can get you lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Saturday appointments now available. It's 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Two bands, one night. Bachman Turner Overdrive. The Marshall Tucker Band. Roll on down the Highway 2025 tour. July 24th, Neuroscience Group Field in Appleton. With special guest Jefferson Starship. A night of vintage PTO. A night of classic Marshall Tucker Band. Reserve seats on sale now at TimberRattlers.com and Timber Rattlers box office.
Drew and KB here with our buddies, Rob and Chris from HappyPlaceHemp.com.
You have a wide range of products, each of which has a different effect. How should I go about finding what's right for me?
The easiest thing to do is just try stuff. And like try our sample pack, for example. You can try all 7 varieties of gummies that we currently have. And then you can see which one works best for you, because everyone's unique and everyone has different experiences. But what I tell people to look for THC and CBD ratios. Higher CBD, lower THC concentrations are more for daily use. And then the higher THC type stuff, Delta 9s, Delta 8s, those are going to be more for, the fun factor.
If I drink a can of your seltzer, what will I experience?
I would say the unique thing about the seltzer is you're going to start feeling the effects in maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour where you're not, on the couch, but you just have a really good feeling about it.
Now get 25% off your entire order with the code Drew and KB in-store and online at HappyPlaceHemp.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at Hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Get ready for the biggest night in podcasting. The iHeart Podcast Award goes to...
Join us for our 2025 iHeart Podcast Awards, live from Austin, Texas at South by Southwest.
Celebrating the most innovative and influential voices in the podcasting world. Push boundaries.
Sit down with amazing guests every week.
And engage audiences in new, remarkable always.
Don't miss our 2025 iHeart Podcast Awards.
Watch on iHeartRadio's YouTube channel and listen on the iHeart app.
Monday night at 11.
Grab the contest rules for 97.3 The Game at thegamemke.com.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Every day live from Milwaukee and heard on the iHeart app by fans everywhere. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game. There is no BS with Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Drop it.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Doug Russell.
All right, let's start in Minneapolis with the Red Hot Badgers men's basketball team. Kept the beat toward the postseason going.
3 feeds Blackwell, left of the circle. The throw to Janicki, right of the wheel. Janicki, left-hand dribble, finds the cutting. Blackwell to the rim, slam dunk. John Blackwell, presented by Jack Janicki.
Just a good ball game last night by Wisconsin. John Blackwell, 25 points, 11 rebounds. Wisconsin with a Big Ten win on the road at the end of the season. You'll take that because Minnesota hates Wisconsin.
Yeah, Minnesota hates Wisconsin. And I think Nick Osen, 24/7 Sports, had like a great picture and video from the top of the barn last night. Lot of red, which has to make you feel good.
Well, Minnesota's had a pretty middling season, 15-15
My
after
wife
the loss
asked
last
me
night.
and goes, all due respect, and I think she was super serious about it. She goes, I didn't know Minnesota had a basketball team.
Usually I say that about Indiana football, but they've been good.
Right
last
now,
couple
that
years.
shows just as sweet as could be. Didn't realize that they had a team. Oh yeah, they have teams,
uniforms and everything. 74 to 60.
Facility, it's awesome.
Right, they even pay the coach. Who knew? 74-67, the final score. Wisconsin will move on to play Penn State on Saturday. But for Coach Greg Gard, last night it was all about how they closed.
Well, we were able to get stops. I think we buttoned up things defensively there, and then obviously we getting to the free throw line and scoring. I mean, we made a lot of big plays. Blackwell was huge down the stretch. Gilmore made a big play off of a shot fake and a drive, and then obviously the fact that Tanjay and Blackwell and Crowell could get to the free throw line was important.
And then after the game, of course, last night, it was the J&K Security Solutions basketball postgame show.
Always.
In Madison on the game. So
So
with our
good
own guy,
was.
Dave Gasper.
And Dave, how many people were talking about Jack Janicki leaving half a tooth there? I mean, like,
we certainly were.
That's a trophy
one of the
for
great
life.
moments.
For life.
Yeah.
You're gonna have, you guys remember when Jack Janicki got his tooth knocked out of that game? Like 30 years down the road, people are like, that was the Jack Janicki tooth game. Like, that's an all-time trophy moment for
He
Jack.
needs an NIL deal with a dentist.
That's
in
what I'm
Madison
talking about.
It is
at some point soon here.
And how about that? It's National Dentist Day.
Just
so,
gonna say
there you
National
go,
Dentist
yeah.
Day. It works.
I mean, to
Marquette
pull the
guy
rug
would
off.
know that.
That's
So that
I would be
top
a lot
shelves
of,
in is
lot
gonna
of
get
good
totally
dentists.
different right now.
You see a dentist, he probably went to Marquette. You can thank him for your pearly whites.
All right, speaking of Marquette, sorry, Armin.
Jones for
Just saying.
three. No good.
Pick your teeth in with this one.
Connecticut, when it lands, has secured a sweep of Marquette. 72-66 on this rainy March evening.
FS1 with a call last night. Marquette falls to 22-8.
Listen to that crowd at Campbell, how excited they were to beat Marquette, almost like it's their Super Bowl.
I don't know about. I don't know about that.
All right, fair enough. Maybe it's not, but
I mean,
listen,
UConn's had some big. I want to check, Billy. You're the college basketball historian here. I think. I mean, Dave, back me up on this. UConn's had a couple of big wins in the last couple of years.
Last
couple
couple,
of big, maybe
last
bigger than
two,
Marquette.
three, yeah.
They sure sounded excited last night to win that game. No, they were excited. Alex Caravan finally hit a clutch shot this year. He's been struggling, but hey, no better way to get it going against than against Marquette when you're up for the game like that. You're up to play Marquette. You know what I mean? When you're playing a big dog in the conference like that. Tough loss last night. I thought the guys played gritty. Billy disagreed with me the whole first hour. I thought they played well actually last night.
Oh yeah,
Didn't
no,
get
they
the
played.
stops they
They
needed.
played hard. Like I just there comes down to the same conversation that there was about the Packers. Like it's now you got to do it again. Now you got to be able to go and beat one of these teams, as you say. UConn looking at Marquette as the big dog in the Big East. I think everyone looks at UConn as the big dog in the Big East. And again, you have not been able to, since the turn of the year, beat one of these big dogs, beat one of these teams that, let alone is ranked, one of the ones that you're looking up against. I know UConn's not in the top 25,
No,
but
they
they're
had
still the
cachet.
class of the conference.
Sure. And, and St. John's, who's winning the conference this year, actually is another chance to do it. Marquette has that chance on Saturday. Maybe they can get it done against St. John's. Then they have the Big East tournament. I don't know. There's opportunity still out in front of Marquette, even though they haven't gotten those wins. But listen, if Chase Ross, Cam, and Stevie all go 0 for 3, that's what's going to happen to you, and you still lose by down to the last possession. You have a lot to hope for there. I still think there's positive there for Marquette. They're combined 0 for 12.
Doug, when was the last time you saw a 6-point basketball possession?
Yeah, that's a different one.
All right,
that doesn't happen.
I watched the game. I watched the game, so I know
it does happen.
Came down to one
very
possession.
rarely. So. Marquette has Al's day.
You and Seth Davis today getting me going. Seth Davis ripping.
I'm sorry, he hit a 3 with 30 seconds to go. That's not the last possession of the game. They lose by 6. It's not a one possession game.
25
I don't know
seconds.
what you want me to tell you.
The 6-point possession you're talking about.
6-point possession that you're talking
25
about.
25 seconds. Now the shot clock is 30 in college.
Pardon me. Okay, pardon me. Give that 5 seconds right back off.
Here, I'll give you the Hassan Diarra free throws if you want them. Is that what you want?
Could be worse. Could be Tennessee. You lost to Ole Miss last night, 78-76. Missouri, they get hammered at Oklahoma, 96-84, and Florida, they win at number 7 Alabama, 99-94. That was a good ball game last night as well. All right,
all good in the SEC. Crazy this year.
Yep, very very good conference. All right, to the pros. There's a clear out the bench kind of night for the Bucks.
Back to back coming up. These guys will be fresh. Everybody's in rhythm. These bench guys, they're going to be in rhythm as well.
The season high for points, 135. Oh, KPT to Jericho Sims lob play.
Well, let's make it 137. That's how many points the Bucks put up against the Mavericks last night, as heard on FanDuel Sports Network, 137-107. Yeah, everybody played last night. It was nice. It was nice to see.
Always nice to be able to get the walk-ons onto the floor, and like when all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, Chris Livingston does wear a jersey onto the,
and it's not just a Herd jersey.
Yeah, those are good moments. Those are good validation moments for a team.
It's actually an NBA game.
They got uniforms and socks and everything.
We got uniforms and everything.
Yeah. From football, the Los Angeles Chargers, they've released Joey Bosa. That would have been a good pickup about 5 years ago.
About 5 years ago. Now, which one is the 5 years ago pickup even better for in 2025? The two teammates, Joey Bosa or Khalil Mack. 5 years older is Khalil Mack.
Yeah, so I would probably go with Bosa, but he's been banged up.
He's been banged up badly. Mack's been better more recently. I think Mack might be a little bit cheaper. I don't know. It's a fascinating deal.
It is. Who's cheaper? And we get caught up in age, and I'm guilty of it too. But I remember when Julius Peppers came to town, and people were wondering about his age and what he had left. And he played a great. So some guys are great into those later years. You just have to find the right ones.
But Joey Bosa, he's only played 28 games over the last 3 years.
Yeah, started 18 of them. Yeah.
And he's 9 years now into the NFL. So I know what you're saying about Mack, but there's a lot of football that he's played, and it's clear his best is clearly in the rearview mirror. And I'd say the same thing for Bosa. So, but yeah, they're both available for a reason.
Mack had 17 sacks in 2023. And I think Bosa's had 14 in his last 3 years combined.
Yeah.
Like that is wild. You're right. He has played a ton of football. He's 11 years into the league. I'm very, very interested if Khalil Mack is part of the Packers covenant coming into 2025.
I would love it. I think that'd be a great
that
pickup.
Is the addition. You're not spending a ton of money on it.
That's the key, right?
And you're going to get some veteran presence and somebody that can still produce. Like his
last
6
part
sacks
is
would be
important.
what, second on the team last year?
Yeah, they need to get to the quarterback. I don't know. It depends on what he's got left in the tank. So if Jeff Hafley can unleash him and he can find some youth renewal in Green Bay, I say I'm all in. Go for it. But for him, it depends on what the price is, because there's a lot of tread on.
There's a lot of tread on the tires, and how much he wants to play with his hand in the dirt, right? Like mostly a stand-up outside linebacker. How much does he want to play against the run with a hand in the dirt in a normal 4-3 scheme? Going to be different. That's part of what you're going to start picking away from here, and maybe why you see they double down on the young guys that they have there. Like they just see that, and they're spending more on a DJ Reed and company in the back end, which I'm going to continue to throw that name out there until he signs with another team, because DJ Reed makes way too much sense for what the Packers want to do.
He's obviously the best corner in the free agent market. I think he's one of the best free agents out there in general, but any position. I think he's a guy worth spending money on.
So Billy, if Packers get DJ Reed, are you going to do the show shirtless?
No,
it doesn't count that way.
No,
you're
we're not,
and
and that's not going to make. Apparently, I don't know if Doug Russell heard this yesterday, where Armin Sarian volunteered Wayne Larrabee to buy us dinner at Carson's.
I heard that. I mean, I'm all in on that.
Yeah. Doug's coming too.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
go.
coming too.
But Wayne didn't I offered for Wayne, but Wayne brought up the idea to go have dinner there. So if you're bringing it up, You're basically saying I'll pay.
You're inviting.
Right?
It's
Just kidding. You guys
you're
think
asking a girl out. I mean, if you're asking her out, I tell you what, boys, you're paying.
There's a difference
You're
between being
paying for it.
frugal and being cheap. All right, I'm not cheap. If we're all splitting the dinner, of course I'll pay my share.
Sure. Sadly, I haven't been. Not sadly, I haven't been in the dating sphere in quite some time. That would be a rich moment to be able to see somebody walk up and say, invite somebody to dinner, and then that check comes. And you go,
we're going Dutch.
We're going
right?
splitsies, right?
No, you can hand it to her.
Yeah.
He's taking the
Dave,
check
how does
tonight.
that work?
Yeah. How does that work nowadays? You're the only single guy here.
Yeah, none of it works very well. Like the last one.
You're right back on
I've gone
Hinge after that one?
I picked it up. I asked her out. I pick
Customary
up
guy,
whatever.
yeah.
Then still it's like, no, I'm not feeling it. My heart's not in it. Just
Man,
Come
that's
on.
rough, man.
You didn't
what
allow
are you
me.
talking about?
What if she would have said, you know what? Actually, to be honest with you, I really started losing feelings when you paid for the check.
Yeah,
Like,
send
you're-
her a Venmo.
Oh, that's even worse.
No problem. I also wasn't feeling paying for your dessert and your 7 drinks you had. I'm gonna send you a Venmo for that. Well, I don't know what she had. I'm just guessing. She ran the bill up.
the 3 rounds of old
carrying her out of there at that point.
Yeah.
Next time we're going a quick trip to get a coffee. That's our first date. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey,
That's-
Ocho Cinco said when he was dating, the first thing he would do is pick up the young lady, drive right through McDonald's.
There you go. Why
She
not?
ordered. He knew that he was talking to her. She
Right.
didn't. See, I'm dropping you right back off. Make
Or
it
you can go
quick.
to the Sedona McDonald's and then you can just sit down and have
Right.
a lovely dinner because you'll be waiting forever for your your Big Mac.
Yeah, you did drop that in there. Not particularly the best service.
Awful.
But they had the blue arches.
They do have the blue arches in
So you
Sedona.
get
I
to-
enjoyed your Arizona quiz. I
Thank
was
you.
playing alongside.
No, you're a big
I
Arizona.
got a
guy.
lot better score than I.
Yeah.
Well, some of my questions were pretty
kinda did.
goofy. I'll admit. Like some of them
thought they were
ki-
pretty good.
Like what food did Murph pull out of his pocket? Like how you supposed to know that? You know what I mean? They were kind
Yeah,
of goofy.
that one I didn't know.
Pancake pouch.
All of
pancakes.
the actual Arizona questions.
Sure.
I was going to say all the ones that were a
Sure.
part of Arizona, easier to be able to grab there. All right, Dougie, we're going to hopefully not lose on this parlay. of
Go
the
make
day.
some money, will you?
Not making Tutu Atwell money, who just got himself a 1-year fully guaranteed $10 million contract.
Nice.
Do you want to know Tutu Atwell's in 4 years, he has 99 catches for 1,300 yards.
No tutties last year, right? Am I wrong in saying
4 touchdowns in his 4 seasons, none last year.
Good work if you can get it.
Man, God is
that?
good.
That's good. Way to go, Tutu.
God is good. Business of Sports Hall of Fame. You are right.
Just say like,
wow.
With more guys, I don't know if this is the case.
But Cooper Kupp has to get out of there. I mean, they need to get rid of Cooper Kupp. They need to get the ball to Tutu Atwell, who's making $10 million a year.
You got to
with
make sure.
Yeah, who needs
checks notes 42 catches last year. I mean, wow.
10 million for 40. Wow, that's
Guaranteed.
Gotta get Cooper Kupp out of there. He is way too
It's
good.
almost like $250,000 per catch.
That's good work if you can get it. That is good work if you can get it. Man.
Well, you know, I
Good for
guess
the LA
I
Rams.
wonder. There's got to be. Is it because he's will accept a 1-year deal? Is that part of it?
It's
I
probably
mean,
just about to emerge. And, egg on my face in the middle of December when this cat's got 82 catches for 1,100 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Mark all this tape, right? I mean, this is what. No, I agree with you. I was surprised to see the number. I really was. That being said, I mean, that might be a great bargain for the Rams if his potential is finally, realized.
That's a different bargain bin than I'm shopping. All right, let's go to the
for
final
1 year. For 1 year, okay, maybe you're
I'll
right.
play. Listen,
Yeah,
if
that's
it's a
not the
1-year
DVD
contract,
bargain bin at Walmart that I'm trying to grab.
Sure, but if it's a 1-year contract, I'll pay anybody anything for 1 year. If it's just, you got to get you
That's
through to
kinda
the
what
other
I mean.
side.
That's kind of what I mean.
You get,
I know
where
they're
you
not-
get stuck is if you have these
Sure.
long-term deals that you can't get out from underneath.
Yeah, kinda.
But I mean, listen, 42 catches, no tugs, and he gets 10 mil. Okay,
10 million.
that is stupid.
It seems like a lot.
You know
but
what?
The cap's
I'm sorry.
increasing.
It was my bad. He probably is doing a ton in the running game, right? Like he's one of these dual threat running
Like
wide receivers.
it's like 7
Okay, yeah,
yards.
checks notes. 2 rushes for 7 yards in 2024.
Does a lot in the community.
Yeah, does good run blocking.
Oh, you know what? That's probably it.
Good
He's probably their
special teamer.
Salute to Service Award nominee.
There you go.
His
I'm sure he
AAV is higher than Derrick Henry. Is that true? I saw someone say that.
I'm gonna throw up. Hit the Potawatomi Sports.
Time now for Billy's Parlay of the Day, brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
Thank you, Doc. Fantastic contributions here to the
It's
program.
the
as
deep
always.
ball catch rate. That's what we're gonna start seeing become a thing,
Well, Mel Kiper's gonna like that.
right? Because nobody goes deep anymore. So the guys that do, are valuable.
That's just incredible.
It is. I know. I agree.
You're fully guaranteed $10 million.
I would have said like he's getting 4, 7, 6, something.
But
like
Les
that.
Snead literally yesterday is like, yeah, we're any opportunity that Cooper Kupp could stay with the Rams, like, all-time Ram, maybe conversation to have his number retired.
He costs too much though.
Former triple crown winner in the wide receiver. I could tell you no. I could tell you yes, but the answer is no. That was like legitimately what he said. No, there's no chance that he's coming back. But we're going to give something called Tutu Atwell $10 million for a 1-year contract.
He has good hands.
Business. That is good business. All right, 877-794-1973 is the number to be calling and weighing in on not only all of the conversations that we have throughout the day, but also the parlay of the day. And yesterday, parlay of the day, not so fruitful for your boys. Today was very confident. Earlier today, punched in right out of the gates. We worked through this thing in the back.
We were working.
Had a nice 3-legger lined up. Numbers are moving, brother. We had the San Diego versus Pacific over.
Now, San Diego, this is not San Diego State.
Not University of California, San Diego.
This is the Toriors.
This is San Diego.
I think that's how you pronounce their team name.
Sure.
The Toriors. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's how it's spelled. Toreros.
Let's keep trying until we figure it out.
No, I don't want people to mix it up. With the
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though, Billy. We were trying to cross-reference with Ken Palm. We had my man Bartorvik, who's the Taco John's.
Slap in the face.
The Taco John's of the Bartorvik of the analytics world.
Well, we had this thing sitting with San Diego and Pacific over 145.
Loved that line.
Earlier on today.
Loved it.
Already up to 146.5 as we sit at the Potawatomi Sportsbook right now as we're making the selection 2 hours later.
I think we've got a leak somewhere, and I'm looking at you, Dave, that the public is hearing about our favorite picks early.
Oh, you're looking at me?
Not liking this at all, Dave.
It was not me on the Toreros putting them out.
Toreros, yes. Thank you very much.
At least somebody got it right.
Whatever it is, those lines keep moving every time we start talking about it, Billy. We have that power, I guess.
It's rather rude and inconsiderate. Not a big fan of them doing that, but you wanted to make sure that we all had it lined up with that was San Diego. Now, University of California, San Diego.
That's a different group, right?
They're also in the parlay of the day here today.
I love that.
Laying not 1, not 2, not 3, 22.5 against Long Beach State. Now, Long Beach State last year, if you remember, wins this conference tournament, I believe, after they had fired their coach. They fire their head coach, like, listen, man, we need to go in a different direction. He goes and then wins the conference tournament. We interview him, myself and Brian Butch last year at the Final Four. He's like the talk of the tournament. Not walking through that door.
No, he's not.
Give me UC San Diego as we go coast to coast. San Diego Pacific over 146.5.
Okay.
UC San Diego just drilling Long Beach State later into the night, laying 22.
Long Beach State always have cool jerseys, but I agree they're in trouble tonight. UC San Diego, Billy. If you can name their team nickname, I will pay for your parlay tonight. But you can't cheat. Don't look. I will give you $5 right now.
Well, I know it's not the Gauchos.
That's Zabe's old group.
UC San Diego.
It's just like they've got the wildest nicknames out west. That's why I have ESPN Plus.
This feels like it has something to do with their marina life, right? You'd have to think it has something to do with a naval ship. I'm going to go with.
I got Abraham Lincoln right here for you. If you can name their mascot. Actually, I don't have it.
I'm only laying the Abe Lincoln.
No, that's what I'm paying for. They said I'm cheap. I actually only have.
I will go with the Ranchers.
No, but that's a great name. That would be a great name. It's the Tritons.
That's a great, even better name. Give me the Tritons.
The Triton is that 3-pronged thing you kind of, that's the thing.
Oh, is that what a Triton is?
Oh, my God, Dave. My God, you 385 viewers right now on YouTube and X.
No,
I'm so sorry you just had to watch that.
It's the image of Barbados.
So sorry they just had to watch that.
That was painful.
That's what a Triton does.
If you look at the flag of Barbados, it's the same with Triton.
That was not that was not the movement you did before. 877-794-1973 if you saw it as well. And the NakeLayLaw.com talking text line and everything.
I was going to pay for your parlay.
You have one more part of the parlay of the day, and it's the New Mexico State Aggies catching 4.5 against Louisiana Tech.
Oh, I like that. I like
Thank
that
you.
a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. New Mexico State was
That's
one
a
of the
sweat
talks of the tournament as well.
That's going to be your biggest sweat, by the way, tonight.
Oh, you don't think it's laying 22.5 tonight against Long Beach State, who you
That's
said
a
are going to
lot
have the
of
coolest
points.
uniforms?
That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. It might be. You can't even get money line on
Plus
that.
600 at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Today's parlay of the day. Bet above the rest. We're getting ready for the big college basketball tournament coming up in the later stages of March by getting into some college hoops here. This is March. This is where you start the run and the grind to be able to hoist that trophy at the end of this bad boy or hang a banner. And many people are trying to hang banners with conference tournaments. We're having fun with it, and you should as well at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet big, bet bold, and bet above the rest. Go and reserve your spots for not only the big tournament coming up for college hoops. This weekend, UFC 313, Saturday night. Your boy's going to be there hanging out at the Sportsbook. Mrs. asked if we could don't have a casino day. I said, a casino and sports book day. Sound like a winner at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. So we're going to be hanging out there watching some fights later on into the night on Saturday. Reserve your spots right now. Paysbig.com/sportsbook. Hit the bet builder as well, and you can build out those investments before you get there. Parlay of the day brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook, and also not fully endorsed by Ken Palm.
No.
Not fully endorsed by Ken Palm, but you know what? Ken has been wrong too many times for me to be just going full endorsement on what he's got for
It's just a predictor. It's not a guarantee.
It's just predictions, not spoilers.
My dad got Triton, and he says he wants $5. No, Dad, you said you're buying dinner at Carson's. I'm holding you to that.
Jeez, you can't even buy him an ice cream at Leon's for Leon. That's Armin Sorry, and I'm Billy Schmidt. Dave Gass produces. It's no BS on the game.
You now can register for free entry to the 2025 NFL Draft by downloading the NFL One Pass app or online at nfl.com/draft access. You must register to gain access to the draft and NFL festivities around Lambeau Field. For more information on the 2025 NFL Draft experience, including a full list of interactive activities, on-site registration options, and exclusive digital content, download the NFL One Pass app or register via the website at nfl.com/draft access.
Hey, Wisconsin, win an ultimate VIP experience with the Milwaukee Bucks powered by Verizon. 6 lucky winners will each receive 4 tickets to watch the Bucks play the Knicks on Friday, March 28th from the Club Lounge. Plus, you'll get early entry, an arena tour, and much more. Hurry to select Milwaukee area Verizon locations or go to www.bucks.com/Verizon to enter by March 16th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin, age 18 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.bucks.com/Verizon.
Let Popeyes do the fishing while you enjoy our signature seafood that you'll love, like our delicious flounder fish sandwich or crispy shrimp tackle box. So come give them a try before they're gone, y'all. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants.
Old Spice Swagger Body Wash will make you the MVP of freshness and confidence. With its irresistible scent, it will transform your shower experience, leaving you feeling fresh on and off the field. Pair it with Old Spice Swagger Deodorant, the #1 aluminum-free brand that keeps you feeling like a Super Bowl champion 24/7 when used daily. But don't wait. This dynamic duo is available at Costco for a limited time only. Old Spice, official deodorant partner of the NFL and Super Bowl 59, where freshness meets football greatness.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint. Let's trade
lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef. This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details. Thielman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Southeast Wisconsin's #1 heating and cooling contractor since 1929, has an unbeatable deal for you. For a limited time, when you buy a new air conditioner, you'll get a brand new furnace completely free. That's right, buy an AC, get a furnace for free. But hurry, this offer won't last forever and is only available while supplies last. Call Thielman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today or visit us online at thielmanheating.com to schedule your free estimate. Thielman, trusted since 1929.
The game is on the line, and I've only got a shot clock's worth of time to tell you about Subway's $6.99 footlong deal. That's right. Order now on the Subway app and get any footlong on the menu for just $6.99. Fresh sliced deli meat, fresh crispy veggies. Too much good stuff. Get it now on the Subway app. Any footlong for just $6.99. Use code 699FL now. Only here for a limited time. Redeemable at participating U.S. restaurants. Subway app. Online orders only. Add-ons additional plus tax. Additional fees apply on delivery. Excludes footlong snacks. Limited time.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, Spruce, Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Explore the mysteries of rural America in the investigative podcast Obscurum. Season 1, Invasion of the Drones, details the story of chilling aircraft sightings in the Midwest, sparking conspiracy theories and lies until the shocking truth was revealed.
There was a drone, then it actually rotated around our house, almost looking as if it was peering in each window of our home.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Obscurum and start listening.
97.3 The Game.
On the game, Brewers baseball being played out in Phoenix, Arizona. Tim Allen in the postgame show with Pipe Bomb along with Hunter Baumgart doing great work out there. They'll have brewing the offseason coming up here tonight at 6. Mike Heller is also going to be coming from Arizona, bringing you the Mike Heller show for
finally,
almost the next month.
Excited to hear him back on the air again. It's been a while, but it's going to be a lot of fun to hear.
I got a lot to talk about with Mike on the air. And now I have not talked I haven't talked to Mike on the air in almost 3 full weeks.
There's been a lot.
As I was off, I missed the Heller no throwdown.
You did miss all of that, bro.
A lot. Then he was hanging out with Zabe playing reindeer games in the morning. We got to figure out how Sunburn Bowl was. We got to figure out how his commute down to Arizona was, how he's watched seemingly 5 consecutive Badgers games that we've missed. So there's a lot of conversation to be able to have with Mike Heller when we cross it over with Mike coming up in a half hour from right now. Yep. But he is going to embed himself in Brewers camp. These boys have been embedded, and they were talking, Tim Allen, Hunter Baumgart, Jeff Orlowski, yesterday with Brewers general manager Matt Arnold on the aforementioned Mike Heller show as they were filling in. If you missed some of it, he started out in the midst of all of the conversation, the excitement around spring training. Really, what are you feeling and how excited are you as Hunter Baumgart breaks news to Brewers general manager Matt Arnold? that he can actually talk about Jose Quintana coming into the group on a 1-year, $4 million contract.
Yeah, look, I mean, last year it took us 17 different starters to get through a season, and that takes a village, and I think having somebody who's been there and done that, especially a guy that has frankly crushed us for a long time in Quintana, it's nice to have him on our team.
I hated him until 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. This guy, I haven't been here for a while. I don't think there's anybody that's pitched better against us since I've been here.
And
than Jose
Matt,
Quintana.
they dialed it in so he would pitch game 1 of every series.
Every time.
Every time.
And he was so good every time. Yeah, it was really tough.
Wow.
He's right. He was so good every single time. I like that was also a part of his mathematics into the equation.
Oh,
It's like,
absolutely. It's
I'm sick
pretty
and tired
funny.
of watching us lose to this guy.
It's cool. It's funny. I like it, except I get nervous about that logic only because of Suppan. But I don't want that to be my reasons for my nightmares. So I do like to pick
the
up.
good news is Jose Quintana has at least had a season with a sub-4 ERA.
Yes,
true.
thank you.
Unlike
That's
Jeff Suppan.
Right. He was only good against us. I shouldn't say only good, but mostly good against us.
No, he was only good against the Brewers.
Well, he also was pretty good in that something called the playoffs, I believe, in the year prior to them going and signing Jeff Suppan.
Right, which was kind of that we talk about that with the Super Bowl curse, right? If you overrate those
yeah.
performances, he did have a lot of good performances that year, though, no doubt. Unfortunately, not in 08 in Game 4. That's what we could have.
Very much not in 08 of Game 4.
Yeah. Or any other season.
Now, have you done any of the dives into series that the Brewers have lost? Being able to just go through and just add into the pain and anguish and go and look through some of those as to where those really turn?
Well, yeah, but 2008 was the first one. What you mean in general?
Just in general. I mean, I know you probably have watched the 1982 playoffs in the World Series 1,800 times.
Because you're saying I focus too much on the successful ones and not as much.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I went through and pained myself to watch that 2011 NLCS.
Yeah.
I mean, those games in St. Louis, absolute barn burners.
Absolutely.
And the series felt like it flipped about 3 different times.
Well, even in Game 1. I mean, Game 1 was crazy. You're up, you're down, you're back up again thanks to Prince and the home runs. And Uni B had a big homer in that game.
Craziness.
Back and forth. You get the Randy Wolf game in Game 4.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is great.
There's no way we're not going to the World Series.
Coming back home. We've got Greinke ready for Game 5. But Sean Markham. Well, it was tough because Sean was so good that year. But once the playoffs came, he was an absolute shell of himself.
He turned into Jeff Suppan.
Totally crispy at that point.
Liability.
So Matt Arnold also with the boys talking about not only loving this Brewers team, loving being in the state of Wisconsin.
I'm not from Wisconsin, but I love Wisconsin. This is my 10th season here, and I love being a part of the community. And, you had me at cheese and beer and brats already. So, that was already in on that front. So you don't have to convince me beyond that. But the people here are awesome. And, I grew up in California. I've lived in Florida, and it doesn't have that same type of feel when it comes to the community, the care about the pride that people have in Wisconsin is really important. So yeah, I love talking about it. I love connecting with you guys and everybody. I'll talk to a fence post about baseball. So I just love talking baseball.
UC Santa Barbara guy, obviously lived in California. He's from Santa Barbara, lived in Florida when he was working for the Tampa Bay Rays, being able to come up here and live now for a decade, have most of your family's ties being now in here as his kids are growing up and living here in the state. You do obviously, we love it because we've lived here our whole lives.
Yeah.
You like to be able to hear somebody be able to do that, but you're not going to stay. I wouldn't anticipate if you're Matt Arnold, if you don't feel like the city and the state are one of the also reasons why you are able to compete. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
After going to Tampa, seeing a team that does it so well behind the scenes in the front office, and they still have to tarp off the upper level because people aren't going to go to a Wednesday matinee game.
But here they do.
But here, those are some of your biggest biggest gates throughout the regular season. It's part of the reason why he has been a part of the Brewers. I think why he stayed. Not that he had all these different incredible opportunities, but he sat behind David Stearns and they had too much success for him not to get enough calls for people to be interested as to where in his availability at that time.
Yeah, and I think it's always probably nice to have a bigger payroll. It's always nice to have more chances at guys and make it a little easier to win. But there's also an aspect to you doing it where he did it in Tampa, now Milwaukee. There's a lot more skill involved, I think, in his position than what you're doing. A lot of John Horst in that. I see as well. It's very similar to me. I even think they sound similar, but John Horst was also a guy. I think a lot of people said, okay, who is this guy? He's got the job. Didn't know how long he'd be here if he had success. Turns out he's had a lot. Matt Arnold's doing the same thing, and it seems like he likes it a lot. So, I can't say he'll be here forever. Opportunities come sometimes, but it seems like he enjoys it.
Matt Arnold was pushed and elevated into the GM role, similar to almost how Pat Murphy gets the managerial job. He got to call Pat Murphy last year, along with his young son, did Matt Arnold, to offer and give Pat Murphy the job. One of the best digital assets I think the Brewers have ever posted.
So awesome.
Is that call that Matt Arnold and his son gave to Murph to ask him if he wanted to manage the Brewers. And after 1 year, you got to like exactly what you got coming in from your manager.
He is a guy that they know he cares about him deeply. And so I think that's really important, first of all, to have players that you built that trust with. And he's been here now for 10 years, so he's been around the guys. He's established that credibility. He's won pretty much wherever he's been. I think he's the first ever manager of the year and also college manager of the year, or coach of the year, right? So the first guy ever to win both awards. He's earned that level of respect from our players. And he's a ton of fun because he keeps it loose, but he'll also smack you if you need it,
Indeed.
Well, that's a part of this generation, Armin, that I don't know that they get a whole lot of. And Murph, being a college coach at a much earlier stage and a much different day and age in college sports, now coming to the pros, and he relates with all of these guys on a good level. We hear that so many different times. But I like just hearing him boast about him a little bit. Right? Be like, no one's going to talk about this, but he's one of the only guys that has won both of these awards. And he did the professional one in his first year. Maybe deserves a little bit more conversation.
Yeah, it's impressive. And I think Pat's been the right guy at the right time for the right group of players. He really works well with these young guys. Even Craig said that last year when he was asked about him, specifically pointing out Durang. Matt put the right guy in place when I think a lot of people were wondering, really, you're just going to go with Pat here? You're not going to try and, spread your wings, go for a hotter name.
You would have kind of thought he would go and hire his own guy.
Yeah. And it turned out maybe this is his own guy.
It turns out this might have been his own guys. They were both sitting second chair for quite some time on their respective spots. Also, he's got a lot to thank Pat Murphy for as one of the main reasons why he was executive of the year in the MLB in 2024. Matt Arnold doesn't really want to talk about himself that much. However, what are you, Matt Arnold, looking for in spring training as guys are working on things? Games don't necessarily count. What exactly is a GM looking for in the 6 weeks that you're in spring training?
Of course, I think right now we're not really evaluating performance too much. I mean, it does matter to some degree, but it's really just like for most of these guys, it's just let's get right, especially for the veteran guys. Make sure you're healthy, make sure you get your innings built up. And then for the other guys, it really is a nice opportunity to get a chance to get to know them, and see how they interact in big league camp. Some guys, it's their first big league camp. Some guys were bringing over from minor league camp, and so you just get a chance to really see how they interact on the big stage with Murph, which is always a challenge. He will keep you on your toes.
That's a great point. How do you interact and how do you react to those spots and being put into spring training game against major league pitching? You think of just like the actual on the field performance part of it, Armin.
Yeah,
but just the personalities, being able to react, be yourself. Not try to do too much, not try to be somebody you're not, just interacting in that clubhouse. I like that as part of the reason why, because Murph talked about it all last year. One of his biggest catchphrases was it's about people, right? And then he talked about Matt Arnold when they clinched the division. And he said, he's about people now too. He was kind of about these numbers.
Sure.
He was a little more analytical, but now he's about the right things. He's about the people as well. How people interact with other people. You're going to be around these guys more than your own families for the next 6 to 8 months. I think in different sports, we use the phrasing playing for each other so many different times.
Yeah.
Got to have that bond together. In baseball, man, you're going to be around these guys so much. It is so much more of a daily grind than even football is. Basketball, you're around everybody and you're traveling so much, but you're playing games every other day. I mean, like the grind and the amount of failure that you have in the game of baseball, you do have to lean on those guys. And if you're not going to be able to interact and be yourself early on, how are you going to be able to when you do have success and fail at the big league level? I imagine that's a part of those, just being able to monitor how guys are reacting if they do come up from a young camp or as a young player like last year, Sal Frelick, Bryce Durang and company. They had been there a couple of times, but now you're going to be expected to perform. How do you change and if you change just your personality, how does that affect your day in and day out work habits?
Yeah, and if those guys believe you have their back, no matter what, or those guys believe you have their best interests in heart, because Murph can have that kind of sarcastic, crusty but funny style that he's joking around with guys, and you have to be able to endure it a little bit or take it. But if you are a young guy that believes this guy has your best interest at heart and he's going to be, having his back for you, you're going to like a manager like that. You're going to take that stuff. And then it's going to foster that relationship of, okay, we can talk to each other this way. We believe we have that comfort level with each other that we can get, have tough conversations if we need to.
Yes.
But maybe you wouldn't have that before. So I think
you
that's a
will
big
have
thing.
to.
Yeah.
Right? Like
especially
you will
with young
have to.
players. Yeah.
And also, if you want to hear the entirety of that interview, the rest of the interviews the boys have done, their sit down with Pat Murphy earlier on in the week. They had Vinny Capra, talked to Robert Gasser, they mentioned, as well as a host of other players. Go to the Baseball Postgame Show podcast page on the iHeartRadio app, 973thegame.com. Hear all the interviews by the guys at spring training. Also, easiest way to do it. You download the iHeartRadio app, right? You're halfway there.
Absolutely.
You click on the Baseball Postgame Show. You add that to your presets.
Yes.
Because then in the morning, now, listen, you're probably going to be listening to Zabin Butch. We already know you're listening to OBS in the morning. You can listen also to the Baseball Postgame Show on demand the next morning. Because, listen, there's some people that are not going to want to hang out until midnight listening to the Baseball Postgame Show live. Take it on your ride to work each morning. That's what I do generally during the baseball season. So easiest way to do it. And now with the all new iHeartRadio app, even more accessible and easy to get to every single day. Just like that Baseball Postgame Show, add it to your presets and check it out on the podcast page and check out all those interviews trying to get ready for opening day, which is 3 weeks from today.
Hard to believe, huh? Hard to believe it's that quick.
3 weeks.
It's going to be my favorite day of the year.
I'm just
That's it right
floored
there.
by that.
I'm
day.
shocked.
I know.
Hear you're
Just
really
floored by
excited
that.
for
Really
the start of
shocking
baseball.
development here.
The start of Major League Baseball is what you're excited about. Can't believe that.
I do. The older and older I get, the more and more though I feel the home opener really does end up being opening day. Like I'm gonna watch the Brewers-Yankees series. I'm be excited for it. I'll be tuned in. Joe Buck on the call alongside Rock.
I'm very ready. You know how I feel about being there for opening day at Yankee Stadium and all that
March
stuff.
31st.
It's opening day. And I think most people agree. Like if you ask fans,
a Monday, March 31st. Ooh, Kansas City Royals in town. It is going to be fantastic for a 1:00 start.
if you ask most fans what they consider opening day, they mean the home opener. Like those games
Should be a
exist.
holiday.
We're going to be aware of the
It should.
games. We're going to follow them. They exist. But okay, now the
But
season.
why does it
now
always
it's
feel like the
opening
Brewers
day.
are starting on the road?
That's
Every
been that
single
way.
year.
It's
It seems like
been
their
that
first
way.
series is on the road.
Yeah, because the other teams want to be able to go and grab that first opening day. They already know we're going to sell the thing out and have
Yankees get
a
it,
hell
but
of
the
a day.
Brewers can't. Yeah.
Well, I agree.
Yes,
It's a
that's
small market
exactly
thing.
it. That's exactly it.
A small market thing, like two, probably. Yes, we're not New York. Whatever.
No, they know you're gonna. Then they know the Brewers will sell out the home
That's right.
opener if it's Thursday at 11:00 in the morning.
That's right.
Or if it was Wednesday at midnight.
No matter what the weather,
Does
we've
not
seen
matter.
some weather.
So
because
they'll
we got
put
a
it
roof.
whenever it is. Yes. 877-794-1973. What about the park?
Well, I mean, the weather has been bad in the park. Yes, we do have a roof, but there's been moments in the parking lot. My goodness, where the weather's not.
Are
been-
you still complaining that you had to walk through the parking lot last year and party and celebrate and have drinks and shots?
No,
walking into the
that
game?
was not even the worst weather day though. That was a bad weather day. It was like 37 and driving rain.
You had never seen somebody so miserable to go have fun that gotta walk through the parking lot through all
Billy,
these
I
tailgates
had
to
fun.
drink and party.
When we got into the game and started enjoying baseball, I had fun doing that. I didn't have fun walking around with a poncho on and driving 30-degree rain.
It's opening day.
I got a lot of fun when we got in the stadium. You can't make me say that it was fun to be in that weather. You can't. In dugout
No, I
54,
know you're
it was
not
a
going
great
to, so
time.
it's all good.
In the stadium, it was a great time.
I just thought you would have some more fun, hanging out with Brewer fans, just embracing the joy and the
That part
start of
was good.
baseball season.
Yeah.
We're going to enjoy the embrace of Mike Heller as he joins us coming up here in a matter of about 15 minutes from right now. We'll end with our closing ceremonies on the other side. No BS right here on The Game.
The boys of summer are back.
God, I love this. I just love it.
The Mike Heller Show will be live from Phoenix daily. Plus, Jeff Levering every Wednesday at 8 a.m.
Yes! That is such good news.
Spring training coverage is sponsored by Potawatomi Sportsbook, a bet above the rest, and Wisconsin Concrete Coatings, your trusted partner for premier concrete coating. Opening day will be here soon. Milwaukee's home for the best. Brewers coverage is 97.3 The Game.
From fast breaks to buzzer beaters to block parties, there's nothing as exciting as basketball. Hey, it's Billy Schmid with the Underdog Fantasy app. You can bring that excitement wherever you watch. Playing on their app is as easy as choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats, whether it's threes made, points, rebounds, assists. Get those picks right, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Millions of fans have won over billions of dollars on Underdog. Will you be next? Join in on the fun by signing up for Underdog today using my promo code Billy, that's BILLY, and you'll get a free pick as a part of your first cash entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Using a Clorox disinfecting wipe on your coffee table this cold and flu season feels like... It feels like being bold enough to laugh your weird laugh in front of everyone.
That was a good one.
With Clorox, clean feels confident. Clean feels good. Use as directed on hard, non-porous surfaces.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem anymore affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Brother man, you ever get the Sunday scaries?
Sunday scaries?
Yeah, you stay up half the night on Sunday because you're worried about the upcoming week.
I used to, but not anymore. Not now that I found Happy Place Hemp Delta 8 gummies. I take one about an hour before bedtime and I sleep like a baby. But I'm not the only one. One smart, good-looking listener texted us and said they started taking the gummies for their anxiety. Now they're more relaxed. They get a good night's sleep. No more tossing and turning.
And now listeners can go to happyplacehemp.com, use the promo code DrewKB, and get 25% off their order. Can't beat that with a stick.
Happyplacehemp.com, promo code DrewKB.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
97.3 The Game.
Final couple of minutes here on No BS with Billy and Sarian. Boys are down in spring training. Going to get some Mike Keller and company in a minute. Football fans, get ready for an unforgettable NFL draft experience in the Discover Green Bay 2025 Draft Sweepstakes. One lucky winner and 3 guests will receive an exclusive VIP package that includes 4 hospitality passes to the 2025 NFL Draft events in Green Bay, 2-night stay at the Oneida Casino Hotel, an exclusive Green Bay swag package, airfare to Green Bay, and $100 per person gift certificates to the Green Bay Austin Travel International Airport restaurant and gift cards. That's $400 total in gift certificates. One $500 Visa gift card for general spending provided from PMI Entertainment for your trip and for your weekend. Find out more about the 2025 draft in Green Bay and enter to win now. greenbay.com/sweeps. That's greenbay.com/sweeps. We're going to be up there hanging out for the week of the NFL draft. I'm going to be getting there potentially a little later.
You got some stuff going on.
I got an incoming arrival like on draft week.
Speaking of airports, the arrivals, that's going to be a big one, right?
Hopefully mine doesn't happen in an airport.
Well, I don't
I'm hoping the arrival that I'm counting on happens at a hospital
on time, right?
Maybe a little earlier than on time.
As long as it comes.
On time would be in the middle of day 3.
Yeah, as long as
it
comes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. That I didn't realize that.
Yep. On time would be in the middle of day 3 of the NFL draft. So your boy has impeccable timing. Impeccable timing.
You do, clearly. You do
also
clearly.
Apparently
you avoided the season at least.
Because the first time, as we were expecting to have our young son Carson, it was in the 1 year that the Packers missed the playoffs under Matt LaFleur. So we appreciated that. Kind of like how Brian Butch had been saying that if the Badgers weren't so good at basketball, he could go and hang out with Zabe out in Vegas. Listen, if you're in the midst of that, you just need a bad football team if you know that you're going to have a kid during playoff time, because otherwise it's going to be very, very tough. Right in the middle of draft time, not probably the best time to be the guy that hosts the draft show.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
not.
You know what, Billy? These things happen.
Probably not the best time.
We just adjust, and they're all good things. They're all good things.
Great things.
And we just adjust, and we just roll on.
And we adapt and overcome.
Some of us time it differently. I mean, OTAs were over. Training camp hadn't started yet. That's when Lena came, right?
July 10th. So you're just so much better at it. I appreciate
just
that.
Bragging about that.
877-794-1973. Armin has impeccable timing and great strategy. Mike Keller, always on time. We're a little bit late. We got to get right to him. He is at American Family Fields of Phoenix, and we'll hand it off to the Mike Keller Show, set them up for success, and check back in with Mike Keller because we haven't talked to him in almost a month. Dave Gasper, great job here today. Armin, fantastic work as always. I'm Billy Schmidt. We'll be back tomorrow on a very, very fast, exciting Friday. In the good land, it's been No BS on the Game. Handed off to Mike Keller Show right after this on the Game.